This is Three Beards Media. Real talk, no filters, no scripts. From sports to culture, we say what others won't. Turn it up, lock in, because it all starts right now. Live from the AKC Andrew Downs Studios and powered by Revelton Distilling Company.
Welcome to the B Side Bois Rugby Podcast, a Three Beards Media Network show featuring your hosts, Mr. Gray, Philly V, our international correspondent Eric Nichols, and Sam the Hendoza Hendricks. Whether you're brand new to the sport or a longtime veteran, we're glad you're here. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Take it away, boys.
All right, and welcome to another episode of the B Side Bois Rugby Podcast. My name is Mr. Gray.
I'm Philly V.
And we are joined by a special guest in studio for the first time ever. And he reminded me, too, this is a long time coming. In person.
In person, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Juju.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Yeah, so Juju in the Wombat Den for the very first time on the B Side Bois Rugby Podcast, episode 180, Wednesday, August 19th. Thank you for joining us. Really excited for this one. We're going to talk a lot about just things that are happening in rugby because, like, right now where we're at in rugby is the start of the fall season, which is basically the competitive season for pretty much everybody. The cycles have restarted. We ended USA Club Sevens. So we're in the new window, guys. It's the 26-27 season. A lot of excitement. Yeah, I mean, I feel good. We have our first Wombats match on Saturday. We're going to be heading up to Dubuque. Girls high school rugby starting soon. USA men's rugby and women's rugby. They're doing some cool international stuff. We'll get into all of that. But starting us off here, Juju, you want to introduce yourself to the people? Who are you? What is your place in the rugby world and landscape?
I'm Julian Hall. Everybody calls me Juju or Coach Juju. I coach the academy team. I coach at Valley High School with Victor Wong, and I'm also the vice president of the Wombats and current team captain, fly half. And yeah, man, I just get out there and play ball as much as I can.
So how did you get involved in rugby? I mean, we're going like day one. Everyone has like, I feel like a unique story, but also like kind of similar to everybody's. But how did you get involved into it?
Yeah, high school friend, Joey Snyder. Actually, today's his birthday, so shout out to Joey Snyder.
Yeah, happy birthday, Joey.
But he was the team captain at Ankeny, and when they did the split, because we went to Centennial, and they had one team for Ankeny and Centennial. They did the split my senior year, and he was looking for people to play, and we both did scout team running back together. That's how we became friends. And he was like, dude, you should try this. And I was kind of just joking around, running around at lunch trying to help him recruit, and signed up myself and went out to practice thinking like, this probably won't stick. And then I met Evan Sunday, and that man took me by the ear and was like, you're playing this sport. I had no choice after that. Thank God he did, because like this sport's the best thing ever. Coming from basketball and soccer and just having a different kind of contact and brotherhood. You know, some sports can get this side, that side starters versus non-starters, and rugby has never been like that. So
yeah. And when would you say, what year would that have been?
That was 2015.
2015. And I think the first time we played together was in that almost, or what was it?
It was 2016. It had been either.
What? No, the name of the traveling team.
The Ankeny Assholes.
Yeah, what did it stand for? And I talked to Ant later in this episode. It's almost every Saturday, like hang out every Saturday.
Yeah.
Or the Ankeny
like
Summer
that.
Sevens hang out like every Saturday,
Yeah.
every other.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think you had it right.
Yeah. But like that's where I first met you. And so that would have been over a decade ago. And you were just a kid. And I just remember being like, I was playing for Bremer and it was over the summer. And I was like, well, I'm not going to drive up to Waverly for summer practices. I'm fat. I need to run. Played some sevens with Ankeny Assholes, a bunch of Iowa State kids, a bunch of Ankeny guys.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I met you. And what's crazy is like, you were like just a kid. And, you know, I'm in my mid-20s, and now here we are. We both have sons who are the same age, right at 5 years old. They're growing up together. You were one of the first people I called when we started the Wombats. It was like, you know, Des Moines doing their thing, multiple practices a week. I'm old. I can't commit to that. Yeah. I do know there's more people just sitting on their couches, and I feel like we can make something happen. You and Victor Wong, and Vic is now the president of the Wombats. Yeah. You were the first two people I called because I'm like, you guys need to be playing rugby. I know you're good people, and the sport needs you. And it's just crazy to think like that's like we come from two different spots, and then now our kids are growing up together, and just the family that we've been able to create over this silly sport. But yet it's awesome. It
has been a crazy journey for especially us. I mean, even me and Philly B, they used to bully me with the heathens, and then you've been backing me up against the heathens, you know. Crazy times. Yeah, I was just a little wee lad, a little 18-year-old kid out here trying to do something. But
now you've bulked up.
Yeah,
to at least what, 140, 150?
155, 160 on a good day.
No, and I think again that's what's so awesome about this sport is like you did it on a whim. Yeah. You found great people, and it just weaves into your life. It's not just the sport of rugby where you're like, I'm doing this for my life. Yeah. I mean, it's the people, and the fact that Malcolm has all these guys who he looks at as like uncles, right? I mean, like just a bunch of great people that look out after him. And now you're coaching high school kids too, the academy kids, the Valley team. I mean, what does that mean to you just, I mean, personally, like on a deeper level?
Just being able to connect with kids that have the same interests that I had and the same coming to the game that I had at that time and showing them something new. And then the parents getting involved, like Valley's so special with the parents alone getting involved and helping us out in any way that they can.
Right.
And making it easier on us to just coach, you know?
Yeah.
And then having my son there. I mean, he goes to every practice with whether it's the Wombats. I mean, he was just on the sideline at 6 months old, you know, hanging out, and having your kids out there same age, 7 months old, you know, they're just hanging out crib by crib. And then him growing up, he grew up at Indian Hills, you know, over here playing Wombat practices, Valley practices, going to the Valley games. He loves getting on the bus. You know, I think that's the biggest thing for me is that rugby gave me a family aspect with my family being in Michigan and my son's growing up in that family. Right. So that's why I think I keep kicking, you know, even my body's like on Sunday, like maybe we're done. And then next Saturday comes around. I'm like, no way, dude.
Yeah. As I look in here and I see all this gray, and then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, do I got 80 minutes in me Saturday? And then I look at like you and Phil, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to play with these guys. There's just something about it. And like you said, just that family aspect of like, I don't know, man, it really does pull something out. And like, you know, people might hear of rugby. They think of like the crazy parties from the 80s and 90s. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place, and there's certain people that love to get down and get after it. But when you're there on a Saturday, it is family friendly, right? I mean, there's a time and a place for the crazy debauchery, as long as you know don't get too. I mean, we got work on Monday, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, your family is invited to come. They come to the socials, and everybody loves it. You know, as you think of this last decade of rugby, what are some of your favorite memories? Whether it's on the pitch, like favorite match, favorite accomplishment, or off the pitch, what are some of the favorite things rugby has brought to you?
I'd say Wombats as a whole, what we have been able to create as a club, as a family. I mean, I got 30 brothers. People will be like, oh, that's your brother. And I'm like, no, that's my rugby brother, which is the same thing, but different terms, you know? I feel like that's one of my favorite things is the family that I'm creating and continuing to create. I know people from all over the world now because of rugby.
Right.
And then one of my favorite moments Philly B was a part of, rides home from Bremer with Philly B and DeAndre. I mean, those can have some funny moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you do, Phil?
I didn't do anything.
I did.
We were looking for a third for our vehicles, like to and from games, and Juju didn't quite pass the vibe check.
I failed the vibe check. But, you know, it was little bro with big bros. You know what I mean? Little bro can't always hang out with big bros. And we found out that day I had some growing to do.
That was my first year.
Yeah, that was my first year. So explains a lot. I don't know what you guys were thinking.
Oh, wait. Oh, man. No, rugby's awesome, and it's so much fun. And again, Phil, you want to grab me another one too?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, thank you. Hey, we actually have the cameras right this time. How, like, so
The illusion.
yeah, last week we had them all. We had them all off. So like when I would turn and look over at Phil,
Yeah, I know.
we'd be looking the opposite way. It was very confusing, but you can almost see the jerseys lining up and stuff. But we're figuring it out. And again, thank you for joining us, and give a thanks to all the sponsors. You can see them on the bottom. The cool thing too, when we joined Three Beards Media, and I told Chris Shipley, like, rugby may not be the biggest sport. It may not be like this massive audience, but rugby people are rabid. I mean, I don't know, like rugby people support rugby people. So if you know of a business that supports rugby people are like, boom. Like the amount of people who tell me, like, when they're driving through town, and they're like, oh man, I got to hit up Pally's. I got to hit up Single Speed. Like, I know those are rugby friendly bars. I'm going to those bars. Yes. So again, like, you see the sponsors, make sure you support them because they support rugby. I was going to say too, if you enjoy, what we do with the B Side Boys Rugby Podcast, we have live streams coming up. You can always donate to the Venmo. That helps us with travel. We have live streams coming up for the University of Nebraska is hosting the University of Northern Iowa in men's 15s in college rugby. We're going to do, this was announced just this past week, Friday night, September 11th, is going to be Iowa State women traveling to Iowa women in a Midwest Conference matchup, the Cyhawk game. We're going to be live streaming that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be huge. Then high school girls rugby. So you can see Rugby Iowa down there. We're going to be doing all the Rugby Iowa once a week. We'll be doing that. So if you like the content, you want to see more live streams, stuff like that, give us you can always donate if you appreciate what we do. Cause again, we all have full-time jobs, but those little things help as we try to improve our equipment. And if you've been with us from the start, we've come a long way, Phil.
I know. I think about that all the time.
Yeah. You're like, why didn't we always looked at it like, if you make it past 3 podcast episodes, you're like in the top 90%. Yeah. And you're like, why didn't we pull the plug then?
Yeah. The Javi era.
The Javi era. But speaking of Javi, he's a guy who uses social media. There's some takes from social media that have been starting some really good conversations. So I want to get your guys' view. And I would think what's really, fun having a guest host on, the Hendozer, Sam Hendricks, he couldn't join us tonight because he's got rec league volleyball.
Multi-sport athlete.
Hey.
Yep. Nichols can't make it because something with his kids or something. We tried.
I thought he was in the Zarks.
Well, Mr. Ozarks himself. He lives there now. He just got back from there. He has all this stuff going on. We were going to try to set up a call. Just didn't work. It's funny. We've been on the Three Beards Media Network, and Nichols has yet to make it, but we'll get him on. We love him. And then Gimli, I don't know if Gimli's still a part of it or not, but he's still in the group chat.
It's kind of like a running bit that he's going to come and then he's just not here. But he'll come eventually.
Like a stray cat.
When he's hungry, he'll show up.
love. No, Rugby Coach Joe, he's the guy we always talk about. Yeah. He had a Substack article. And again, if you're not following him on YouTube, if you're not following him on social media, and if you're not following his Substack, do that. Please follow it because he's one of the brightest minds in rugby. He's traveled the world. He's won at a very high level on the field, off the field as a coach. But he wrote an article saying, what sporting background makes the best rugby crossovers? And I think this is a really interesting topic because when you think of the United States, we've got people who, almost no one, rugby is their main sport. Yeah. Like, let's be honest. Yeah. When you are a child, you are not like, hey, rugby's number one. Unless you're like, your family's from England or Australia or New Zealand. You move over here and you play that your whole life. That's so rare.
Yeah.
So my question to you guys before we dive into the article, and Phil, I know you didn't read it.
No, I did.
You did?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I got my own opinions too on the crossover athletes. So,
well, let's hear it. You start us off. What do you think is the best crossover athlete? And I think that's a loaded question too, because 7s, 15s, position. There's so many things that go with it.
And it's going to be kind of annoying, and it's just going to be super broad. But like, they talk a lot about how like kids like in high school, multi-sport athlete is by far like the best thing you could possibly do to like develop yourself as an athlete. So I mean, like that's obviously extremely broad, you know, like saying more than one sport makes the best crossover athlete. I mean, it's not exactly ultra specific, but I mean, like if you're looking in the realm of like track and field, wrestling, football, I mean, it's still, I mean, I know that's like a super general one, but like, you know, football players can make pretty good rugby players depending on like position, everything else, like specific skills, things like that. I mean,
so more or less you're saying you don't want just a basketball player.
No.
You want a guy who does.
I mean,
you would even take someone who's like cross country, basketball, soccer, baseball.
Yeah,
cool.
If I had to pick like one ultra, like just real specific sport,
powerlifting.
No. I would definitely say wrestling as my, like, if I had to like narrow it down to one sport and just from like what I've seen, like, I mean, just playing like club, you know, wrestlers.
Yeah.
Big time. You know?
Well, okay. Look at one of
aspect and the grit
mentality. I think that's something, and we're going to actually have an interview with an Olympic hopeful from Nebraska.
Yeah.
And he has a huge wrestling background. And one thing he brings up is the mentality.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't think of. A lot of the article was about physical traits, skills. I think the mental is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, if you can go through a wrestling practice, and if you've been through some of those wrestling practices, they will beat you down.
Yeah.
You can work through anything. And then again, that one-on-one mindset. Rugby, someone, I think it was Rick Hall, coach at UNI, you know, Iowa Rugby Hall of Fame member, UNI Rugby Hall of Fame member. He was our coach at Bremer, our coach at University of Northern Iowa. I'm pretty sure he said something about how like rugby is over 1,000 mini contests. Like rugby in itself is a contest, 80 minutes, 15 on 15. But if you break it down to the micro interactions, you are one-on-one tackle, one-on-one in the ruck, one-on-one just running, whatever. Like one-on-one in the scrum.
Winning your one-on-ones.
All the time, right? Yeah. So like as a wrestler, that's all you do.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's huge.
The only thing I guess I would say with wrestling is just, and it's so hit or miss because like obviously the two guys we have that are from Morningside originally are fast. Sometimes you get some guys, some wrestlers, they're just like, you think they'd be fast, but they're not. And it's weird to me, you know?
They're twitchy.
Yeah, but it's like
they're not long distance fast. They're like short, little.
Yeah, but even some of them are like,
imagine how they go into the tackle
faster. But I mean, like obviously that's very subjective and
down
to like, you know what I mean? Like, because like I said, Alex and like Dakota pretty fast,
right?
You know,
right?
So
yeah.
Juju, what about you? What sport do you think?
I think, and this is gonna be left field, but soccer players, the way that they see the field, they're comfortable with looking behind them for open field. It creates an offensive advantage than I'd say like a football player who only plays ahead of the ball, or a wrestler who doesn't catch a ball or, you know, make physical tackles that are running at them. They're more face-to-face contact, you know. But soccer players, because they see the field differently, they have the endurance, they have the speed usually, footwork, you know what I mean, even off the ball footwork. You can teach tackling, you know what I mean, you can teach passing, you can teach catching the ball, but you can't teach vision. Well, you can, but it takes reps, it takes time. I feel like my prime example of that would be Jacob Sunday. He was soccer and golf, you know. I remember his dad telling me while I'm 130 pounds soaking wet senior year that Jacob's now playing, who was 145, 150 because he's too small. And I'm like, well, he's the fastest kid I know. You know what I mean? He grew up in the sport, but amazing soccer player, amazing golfer. That doesn't go into it, but amazing soccer player. And the way that I watch him watch the field, really opened up my eyes to that because I played soccer all through high school as well. And I didn't put two and two together that was where I was getting my field vision from. Was I'm looking forward to the open gaps, because in soccer, through balls are in open gaps, you know, pop balls are open gaps, you know what I mean? When you're taking a shot at goal, you're looking for where the hips are on the goalie. If he's facing this way, you're going to shoot behind him type deal, you know?
Fun fact, did you know I played 24 seasons of soccer as a kid?
I did know that.
You did.
I did know that.
Damn.
Yep.
Phil.
I knew you played soccer, but weren't you like a goalie though?
I played midfield. I played midfield too.
I thought he was a
I did
goalie too,
both.
but I wasn't going to say
I did both. I did both.
That's why he's always trying to kick it every time he gets the ball. He's like,
Dude, that's why I feel like surprisingly, like there are times where like just a little grubber or chip was like. Again, there was we did that spring match, and I had when I got to play in center.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so much fun.
Was that
so
the
much
Orcs?
No, that was against the Lincoln Wolves. Yep.
Lincoln, yeah.
And it was one of those things where I think D was he just was like,
hey, you have a hat trick in a game, you're ready to come out.
Right. And he was just like, I'm good. And I think I was off because we're like, hey, we need some more people, get some more front row minutes. And D's coming off, and I'm like,
I'll go.
And I'm like, I'm old enough. I can just say, fuck it. I'm doing it. We're up 40.
Like the couple of matches in the fall that I got to like scoot in to play center.
You scored.
I scored on both of them.
You scored.
I'm like, it's so easy to score in the back line. I don't know how you guys don't do it all the time.
Well, when you got a guy looking like you running at you, 90% of the time people aren't trying to go into that.
Hey man, I've been tackled by some pretty small fullbacks before. So.
Yeah, but not everybody's Lucas.
I was gonna say though, the play though, it was. We were backed up. It was the first like set piece we had, and we had a scrum like inside our own 22. I'm pretty sure you threw me the ball, and I literally caught it 5 meters in front of our own opposing try line, defensive try line. I'm just like, I can't do anything with this, and I just see like their fullback comes up because like, dude, that guy's been playing tight end prop all game, like whatever. And I just boot it like 50 meters, and then it just keeps rolling. And then like Miro runs by me, Hunter Bagby runs by me, Kai runs by me, and the three fastest dudes on the team are just like zoom, 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 and I'm like, I set that up.
Shock it up.
But 100%, it was like, I basically was a goalie, and I just did a clear out kick. Like that's all it was.
I ran to the sideline to get the tee when I saw it. So.
Good enough.
I'm not running.
Now, I will say though, if we flip this, sports that don't have the best crossover, as much as, and I'm just going to put my take out there, as much as we use football players, if you had a guy who was like, I only do football, and again, I'm wearing a Bears hat, huge Bear. Football is my favorite sport. Like, it's not like because we do rugby, it's like I'm only rugby. I love football. I think that's like, if that's your end all be all, I think it's terrible because it's so specialized. And they hold the ball a certain way. And when I watch football and having my, meatball rugby brain, and every single time I see a wide receiver running down the field, and I just go, why doesn't that other wide receiver just follow him and just a little offload? I'll never forget Eric Frana when we went to the University of Northern Iowa. He had like some elective where he took like PE. And there was a day he's like, hey, we're playing flag football in the dome. Do you want to come to my class and play with us? Because they had girls in the class and they're like, we need more people. I'm like, yeah. So I skipped like my, elementary language arts class where we were in the library reading third grade books, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'll skip my elementary ed, whatever. Go there. Fran and I, we just were hitting switches, like playing flag football. And they had guys who were on the UNI football team who were like, this is stupid. You guys can't do that. You can't. And it was like, and PFT from Pardon My Take, he's always saying like the team in the NFL that gets comfortable with downfield laterals could completely change the game of football. But nobody's thinking. It's all about possession. It's so important. And you don't look for that next phase. You don't look for, how do I find work? You do one thing for 6 seconds, you go, good enough. And there's so many bad habits that cross over. But again, you see someone run the ball really hard, you go, and the best athletes in the United States play football. So you think to yourself, well, I want them to play rugby. But the skills aren't there.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I saw something today actually during my lunch break. It was flag football. And it was an Australian team. And the quarterback threw it to this tall wide receiver. And instead of catching it, he just popped it over his head. And then it went forward still. Yeah. And the guy was just waiting in the touch zone and caught it. Touchdown. Is that legal?
I don't know.
He didn't catch it. You know what I mean? It's
he
just like
tipped it.
I guess it would be. I don't know.
And there's no such thing as an intentional knock-on in football. It was just like, oh, he didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
Wow. Someone's thinking about it. It's just not us.
If you whip the ball or whatever at open receiver, but it smacks him on the helmet. It flings forward, and the defender catches it. It's just an
That's
interception.
an
So
interception.
it's like, so another play catches it downfield,
Yeah.
then it's
And again, Australia, they're thinking rugby stuff, right?
Yeah.
I will say girls flag football in Des Moines Public Schools, they have a league. And in the rules, it says there are no backwards laterals past the line of scrimmage.
Why?
And I was going to coach. And then when they said that, I'm like, I'm out.
I'm
I'm out. I was going to be like, I was going to
Because-
teach them.
Because I knew Gray was going to coach. He was going to go win a state championship real quick
Well,
with laterals.
I think they knew it would turn into rugby real quick.
Real quick, yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly. Like we would have won. We would have
Yeah.
won it. So again, check out Rugby Coach Joe. And I think my biggest thing with this is, as much fun as it is to say like, oh my God, I love when a wrestler comes out. I love when a football player comes out. I love when someone does CrossFit and comes out, right?
Yeah.
I was just watching your face to see. You know, availability is the best ability.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I mean, we've had guys come out to rugby before who said, this is the first contact sport I've ever played. And we go, I'm just happy you're here. So as much as it's fun to say, I would love for this guy with this skill, we're the United States. We are a tier 2 nation. We'll take anybody and we'll teach you the
I was
skills.
just
So,
gonna say I would like to get rugby players, but
Right.
yeah, whatever, it's fine.
right.
And honestly, the guys that show up and never done that, they learn the quickest because they don't have anything else guiding their mind to do this or that.
Yeah.
There's no bad habits you have to reteach. And that's something I commented to Joe, and I'm like, it'd be a fun article for you to do the research and write.
Yeah.
I do none of it, but I'll take the credit. And I was like, you should look up what are the hardest traits and habits to break from those sports. So if we're going out, we're recruiting basketball players, we're recruiting football players, we're recruiting swimmers. What skills are the hardest to break to get them to be at their full potential of rugby? I think that's interesting too.
For football players, it's
Don't be a bitch. No.
so it's probably more like breaking
your
down
pads off.
and wrapping, in my opinion, but defense,
The high tackles.
the high tackles, and the no wraps. Like that's
I would say after a tackle, get up and get back into
that
play.
too, like get back up.
Oh man.
Truck's first hit ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Love that guy.
yeah. Well, and when I think of bad habits to break,
He broke it pretty quick.
I was gonna say
Body.
I can't think of other sports other than football.
That would have issues. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, wrestling, they lift a little bit. But
if they dump them,
Yeah.
but even wrestling, you got to return them safely to the mat.
yeah.
But there are times you see a wrestler kind of like if you do a power double and you're like, nope, don't take them off the
Too, where
ground.
they don't let them go right away on the ground. They kind of hold them there.
They put him in a cradle and they're like,
Well, no,
yeah.
no. There's been a few times.
Put his knee to his forehead. Like,
I've seen
wrong
a few
sport.
times. It's like, let him go.
Have you also seen when it rains and there's like a mud puddle and they just almost drown somebody?
Tom always did
Yeah. That doesn't happen in wrestling since, there's no puddles, but wrestlers somehow find a way to do that. All right. The second thing I got for you on social media, and this was like from 2 weeks ago, and it's funny because like this literally came out when the last episode came. So it's kind of died off, but the conversation was huge. So this guy, Chris Rome from Florida, he said, I hear people say high school rugby has no real pathway for player development. He had a picture of the University of Central Florida celebrating their 2013 D1AA National Championship. They went 17-0. They beat Tennessee, Clemson, Dartmouth, and Lindenwood. 7 players on that team started rugby in South Florida when they arrived at UCF together. But then 4 years later, they're national champions. Not a single one of their South Florida high school teams that produced them exist today. So Chris says the pathway is not the problem. The on-ramps are the problem. So basically saying, what is going on? Because this is not just, and I think this is why this hit a nerve. This isn't just South Florida that's having this problem.
Mm-hmm.
So many people, and we've seen it in Iowa, we start programs, we're all in. What is it that makes those programs disappear? That was the question. I think I said, we're seeing this story nationwide. How do we fix it? That's all I said. Nothing loaded, nothing. I mean, it's happening everywhere. Rugby programs start, people have a great experience, they win titles, kids go on to college. 3 to 6 years go by, that high school program dies. Van Meter, multiple state championships. Southeast Warren, great 1A program. They're gone. Wolf Creek and Union LaPorte, gone.
Does Waterloo still have a team?
Who?
Waterloo boys?
Well, Waterloo switches between Waterloo East had a team, they're gone. Waterloo West had a team, they're gone. Now it's Waterloo Columbus, but like they're all over the place. Boone had a team. Dowling had a team, girls and boys. You know, we see this happen over and over. And it was interesting because a lot of people were saying, like, you know, Casey Hansen, he jumped in there talking about, you know, you got to have a succession plan. There's going to be people who leave, right? I used to coach at Roosevelt. I used to coach at Valley. When I said I can't coach at Roosevelt girls anymore, I can't coach at Valley boys anymore, the first thing I did was I looked for trusted people, Parker, Vic, Phil, Juju. Hey, run Valley for me. I'm out. Roosevelt, went to the Des Moines women's team, found some women. They run the program. There's people, once they get burnt out, they go, I'm done. They leave. It's gone forever. Talking about Dennis Oliver, he said, growing a tree only works with a successful and sustainable root system. Lance Cummings, he's the head coach of Arkansas men's rugby. Yeah. He's in Northwest Arkansas. He was talking about how they had 315 sides when he was in school. None of them exist today. He thinks we need to be more focused on the 6 to 12 age range. Talking about, you know, is it the general union's responsibility, the Iowa Rugby Union, Iowa Youth Rugby Association? Who's in charge of this? Is it locally? Really good stuff. So if you go back 2 weeks ago on the B Side Boys podcast page, a lot of interesting conversations, a lot of experience in there. But from your guys' perspective, why are we seeing this happen? We have great programs. We have great people. The programs disappear. How do we fix it? Phil, I'll start with you.
That's obviously, I wish I had a lot more experience in it because I feel like my opinion on it probably wouldn't carry a whole lot of weight. So, because, you know,
you're stronger than anybody who will respond to you. So you're the boss.
So I bench the most. So I technically have the strongest opinion. No, I mean, like you had said, though, succession plan, you got to have one if you're not able to stick around. I mean, it sucks because with it being a club sport, and then if you are there's obviously clubs that don't have a coach that's within the school. There are clubs that don't have that, and they're successful clubs. Right. You know, but in my opinion, it does make a lot of sense to have a coach, or at least like somebody who's pretty heavily involved in the program, to also have a foot in the door at the school, because it's like, how hard is it to recruit kids when you don't work at said school?
It's very weird.
I feel like it's got to be hard because, like, luckily I don't do that at Valley. And like, but you know, we haven't had a ton of new recruits the past 2 years, so like
we lost our in.
Yeah, we lost our in for the school, so it's like, and like I feel like that's been kind of noticeable. We don't have the because like then you're leaning on your players to do the recruiting. And sometimes maybe
they're high school kids.
They're high school, exactly. And it's hard to probably talk some people into doing a sport, you know, like.
Yeah. And you're not going to go. You're not going to go in the Valley lunchroom and say, "Hey, boys, want to come play rugby?"
Yeah, no.
It doesn't work.
But on the other flip side of it, like, you know, youth programs are obviously, in my opinion, probably the number one way to get them from, you know, T3 or whatever to a high school team or like a club team or whatever. That to me makes the most sense. And like, you know, so far I feel like the only team that's really doing it right is Waverly. Yeah. You know, like so far. I mean, like I feel like Des Moines is going to try to catch up like ASAP.
Whoa, Wombats have a Parks and Rec camp coming up. And every summer I run a youth camp with Des Moines Public Schools.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I feel like they're the only ones that are doing it the right way currently. So
I mean,
it's clear their team, like they're consistently good.
Their freshmen and sophomores right now they've had a rugby ball in their hands for the past 7 years. Like they have kids that have had more experience as a freshman in high school than kids who are seniors in high school. Yeah. Like that is insane.
Even if they're third-year players.
Right.
As a senior.
And that's what people have been saying. Like, we as a country, we need to get a rugby ball in the hands of 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. It needs to be a thing that when they get to high school, it's like, hey, you want to play rugby? They don't go, what's that?
Right.
It's more of like, oh, I remember that from PE class. Oh, I did a camp. Oh, like it has to be familiar because as a guy who works in a middle school, as a guy who tries to recruit people to do any sport, it's hard, man. There's a lot of other things people can do. There's video games, there's YouTube, there's vaping behind Walgreens. There's so many things you can do that's not sports. We're competing against. And so when you go, hey, here's a sport, and they go, never heard of it, never seen it, they can't picture themselves doing it.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get to the youth. But again, that's not a quick fix. That is something that you have to be intentional, and you have to be in that community for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be there. And we talk about this with like high school football. If you want to be a program, you have to be there for 10 years because those kids are from second grade to senior year. You have to see it through.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, like, we all wanted to play football because we remember going to the varsity football games in elementary school. You know, all I wanted to do was be a Muskegon Big Red my whole life, you know, because my brother was on the team. His friends were on the team. My cousins were on the team. I would go to their games. I would grow up watching them. Basketball, football, soccer, all of it, you know? And those are the sports that led me to play those specific sports. The ones I was watching, older siblings, cousins, whatever, is the ones I was playing in high school. So, like, Malcolm's going to play rugby, and it's not me pushing on him. Colby's going to play. It's not you pushing him on it, you know?
They grew up with
like, Murphy might play, you know?
Oh, no, like, she'll play more than Colby will.
Your daughter might play, you know? It's because they grew up in the sport. They know this sport. And they grew up watching it, always wanting to play it, but necessarily couldn't. I think that what we need to do to fix that is the high school itself needs to be on board with allowing these students to play this sport no matter what other varsity sport they play. It doesn't have to be necessarily a varsity sport, just the allowance. Okay, you are Valley High School rugby. We'll allow you to use our buses. If it costs this much, it costs this much, whatever, you know, whatever the high school football team is paying, then we got to pay it too, you know? But just giving the team the easy go at it and allowing players to make their own decisions to play that, or allowing it to be an okay sport to play. Cause I feel like sometimes, at least in Iowa, reason why Waverly's, in my opinion, and what I understand, you know, they have ends with the high school, right? So the high school is okay with their football players going from football season to wrestling season, and then they, instead of doing track like normal football players would, they play rugby.
You know? I mean, that's kind of better carry over football.
That's not how it is in the Metro, you know.
And I will say that that's a big ask because there's a lot of ADs. I've been in some meetings. I've talked to a lot. I work with them. And when you bring it up, man, that's a big ask. And that's where it's like, if ADs and football coaches and track coaches got on board, sure, that would make our lives so much easier. And that's where it's like, we got to get creative and work around it, because I'm just going to throw that out there. That ain't going to change unless rugby brings something so substantial to the school that they don't have to do or work towards, but it brings them some sort of benefit. But again, that's rugby people putting it out there first. But yeah, man, making it accessible, making it visible. And that's my big thing. And that's always been the thing with Wombats Academy, the youth camps. Make rugby, this whole podcast, make it accessible and make it visible. Because you're not going to do it if you don't know it exists. And that's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of the Wombats and the academy and coaching, and why I try to get so many guys to coach high school. Make it so people, parents, kids, teachers, they know it's a thing, and then they know, I can go to college for this. I can get money for this. Like,
how many kids are sitting on the sidelines every Friday night that could be D1 level rugby player, and they're never going to get the opportunity because, you know,
this
guy found rugby.
Center.
But you know, like,
you see all the dust on that.
There's a lot of guys that are, you know, not getting any time, and they can come over and fall in love with the sport because it's similar to what they love already. And it'll change their life. You know, I was a freaking basketball player, you know. I thought I was going to be in the NBA, and I was looking at me, I'm a freaking Wombat by choice. They asked me to go to the NBA. I said I'd rather play rugby. Pass.
Phil, were you going to say something there? Do you have something? I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm
You sure?
I've had a lot of thoughts, but that's okay.
Can you grab me a beer? And
Yeah, of
also,
course.
can you share one of those thoughts?
I don't know. Maybe. I was just pertaining to Waverly because we were just talking about they got the foot in the door and everything like that, and
Are you like, I don't want to glaze them anymore?
No, I don't, because it's and obviously
we play them in 2 weeks now.
Yeah. Well, you think about it too. It's okay, Eric Wickham's obviously got a lot of involvement with the the sevens team stuff for Waverly, and head wrestling coach, considered probably the best wrestling coach in the entire state. And it's telling the kids you should try rugby. It's our head wrestling coach is telling me I should go do this. I'm going to go do it. But that's just to get their foot in the door to actually develop them and stuff. I mean, obviously that's all on.
And I'll tell you, every last one of our rugby players that played
too.
Football, they went back to football better. Like Joseph, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He was faster. He was
Hunter
fit.
Clark.
Hunter Clark, yeah. You know what I mean?
From special teams to starting linebacker in the state tournament, right?
Yeah.
And now he's at a varsity program.
I want these coaches to know or these ADs to know, I'm not trying to steal them from the sport completely. I'm just trying to give them a better outlet than running straight.
You're not competing with their sport. You're complementing their sport.
Yeah,
you are not competing. I'm not taking your athlete away from you. I'm going to season him. I'm going to give him a little extra. And then when he comes back to your sport, you're going to go, whoa, his pursuit angles and tackling are way better. His follow through is way better. And his cardio is better. He pops up. He's ready to go. That's what you're doing. And I think that is where the struggle is, because I know, it's one of those things. Never mind. We can't share certain things we know. Because talking to coaches, everyone has their own issues and their own things happening with football coaches, track coaches, and ADs.
I can't imagine them having that problem though in Waverly, because like I said, Eric's not going to be you can't play rugby because you got to wrestle. You can't play football because you got to wrestle.
Yeah,
I guarantee he's just you got.
He's letting the kid make a decision to be a kid. What sports do you want to play? I got this other one.
Never going to tell him to hey, don't play football, so you can focus on playing rugby in the spring. No way.
And I was almost going to say names, but I won't name names. There are multiple coaches who are dealing with coaches of other sports and ADs who are trying to shut them down, who just don't understand rugby. And it's just so frustrating. And I feel for those guys, because they're pouring themselves into it just as much as you guys do. But literally, athletes are being told, if you play rugby, you cannot do this varsity sport, even if it's not in the same season. So it's frustrating, Another thing people talked about with this whole, why do programs die? Burnout of coaches. So how do we prevent that? Does that come from an internal thing? Does that come from the league? You're grown, right? You got to figure it out.
That's internal.
And that's where with the Wombats, right? I always say dude, people make fun of Allie, oh, you guys got 6 coaches. Yeah, because they have 6 different lives, and between the 6 coaches, how many children and wives and girlfriends you guys have, right?
It was a stretch there too, where we had a lot of players.
Right.
The last 2 years we have 30, 40 players.
And when it's one coach trying to manage 30 players, the admin side, the coaching side, $0 getting paid, making sure everyone has a ride, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot, so this is something that, we don't have an answer, but it's an interesting conversation. But I think honestly, I don't know, if we can make it easier for coaches, what's easier? Parents helping, getting more kids involved, and then just having more coaches available. I think, many hands make light work. So that's a big one there.
Yeah, Valley. I can only think of 4 practices last year that we had every coach there.
Oh yeah, I know.
Well, I want to move on from this because I do think we're getting into 43 minutes here.
Yeah, hurry up.
Love it.
So we could talk about that part forever, but I want to move into Great American Rugby. Lance Kavanaugh. He's the guy. Do you follow Great American Rugby on Instagram?
Not on Instagram, but
I do.
Yeah, he's a content creator. I think originally from Ohio, and now I think he's chilling in Florida. So I don't know. He was at the USA Club Sevens National Championships, and he said some words in the pregame show. Took a side swipe at Iowa Senior Women's.
Oh,
this is wild.
I heard about this.
Take a look at this, and
pull it up.
I want to. Here's the clip.
West is Chicago.
I would just take the area.
It's just
code of
Chicago, right?
over
I mean,
that.
outside of those two teams.
No disrespect, but I mean, ain't no women's team from Iowa doing it anyway. So, like I was saying,
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, I mean, he kind of does. I mean, he has a ton of followers. He makes really good content. Everyone should go follow Great American Rugby.
Yeah.
He promotes the game.
Unless
He's
you're
really
from Iowa. No, just kidding.
he's great because his thing is like, same with us. We need to put a spotlight on club rugby and things like that. But it got me thinking because I was doing some commentary for that. We have so many great women who play rugby. But in the summer, they go play sevens for Chicago Lions or maybe some other clubs. And it just kind of made me think. And I was talking to Bryant Reynolds about, I don't know, maybe is there something we could do next summer to send a team from Iowa? Because you don't have to be like, Wombats women or Des Moines women, Quad City. You can just be like, this is a team Iowa. Boom, go to a qualifier.
How do you compare, though, to like Chicago Lions, though? I mean, that's a extremely well-established club. How do you be like, hey, don't go play for a club that could potentially win the whole thing?
They have 60 women that go to their practices competing for roster spots.
Yeah.
If you stay home here, you are a starter.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the
We've
best,
got
you want
talent.
to play against the best. You don't want to play with the best. I mean,
Yeah.
you do want to play with the best.
Yeah,
but-
so
Different people have different things. I don't know. I just thought it was one of those things where I know Bryant Reynolds, friend of the pod. We've had him on 700,000 times.
Yeah, of course.
I know he was frustrated by it because he's tried to work a lot. We have an amazing high school girls program.
Oh, yeah.
The Hawkettes are awesome. Our college programs are kicking ass and competing for titles.
So how do you keep them here?
They go to the Twin Cities. They go to Denver. They go to Chicago. So how do we keep them here? So I don't have an answer for this either. Just something to think about. And like, again, the fact that they took Iowa and like, it was a throwaway comment, but then like when we hear it, it's like, oh fuck that.
Well, if you think about it, we have a lot of high school girls that are going D1 right out of high school, and they're playing their last summer of high school rugby, even though they're graduated with the Hawkettes to play at the highest level that they can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we had a women's select team that was going to play in these high levels, maybe we would have some of the girls that come home from UNI, Iowa State, or and just go back to their home would stay in state to play on that team, and then the high school girls that are elite, because these girls are ballers, would go up and just match with them, learn from them, play with them. I mean, you do that for a couple of years, you could potentially create something that, at least for the summer 7 series, you get to spend your last summer of, before you go off to college with your friends and play great rugby. Yeah. You get to come home, play great rugby, and spend summer with your friends rather than because you want to play rugby and grow that aspect of your life. Well, you don't have to go to another state and be away from your friends. I mean, they're making memories out there too, but what are memories with a stranger versus like with you two? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's all go to the Chicago Lions women's team together, S3. No,
I wouldn't make it.
I mean, I got the long enough hair. I'll just want to man it.
Oh man. It's funny you say that. Aunt Brian is on later, and there's a. We'll get to it.
He said something about Juana, man.
No, Royce White. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
play the clip.
Yeah, I haven't cut it yet. But anyways, it is one of those things. Like we need more options, like for club women in Iowa, and we need more because, like, again, our top players, they're either leaving the state or they're done with rugby. We need something for women, whether it's 7s, 15s. I don't know. We're not there yet. So it's just something to think about. Yeah. But I heard that and I was just like, come on, man. Fuck that. We're working hard over here. And again, we have 3 million people in the state of Iowa. Half of Chicago is 4 million. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
The competition is
slim
pickings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, some news and notes, though. We were talking earlier. Really cool to see North Polk Comet Rugby Club had a youth camp in Polk City with their Parks and Rec. West Des Moines Wombats had something with Des Moines Parks and Rec. And then the Wombats are having a Parks and Rec program coming up with West Des Moines. Get your kids involved.
My nephew's going to that.
Yeah.
Good. And
My
dude,
son's going to it.
we're like, get kids involved. So great to see these camps. Also, this was really cool. Madison England from Waverly and Morgan Roth from Norwalk. They went to Chula Vista for the USA Sevens U18 camp. They got to hang out with Alona Mar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool.
It's funny. I made that pro wrestling comment or whatever, and I got a comment and they're like, "Oh, by the way, they met Alona like a day after you said that." I'm like, "Did you show her the clip?"
So
Please,
is Morgan Roth's sister the Roth that was on
Hannah, yeah,
that played
with the Lions, the
Okay.
B track, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically the second side. So New York dropped out of women's club sevens, and they're like, okay, we need to find a replacement. So they took the Chicago Lions B track, the second side,
Mm-hmm.
and at Midwest, it went Chicago Lions got first place, Chicago North Shore got second place, Chicago Lions B side got third place. So they're like, this team is good. And again, Chicago Lions, they have 60 women that are competing.
Yeah.
So
they could have made a third team if they needed to.
100%. So Ava Denner from Roosevelt, and then she went to Linwood, and then Hannah Roth, who was at UNI, went to Norwalk. And Hannah Roth was like a standout for that team.
Yeah.
I think they ended up finishing in the top. I have it somewhere here. I can pull it up.
I saw her headshot. I was like, I wonder if that is the Norwalk girl's sister.
It was. And yeah, if you look at the cup,
Man.
they lost the plate final. So still an amazing tournament, especially when you are a second side and you're competing in the top 16 in the
against
country.
the first sides.
Yeah, so really cool to see. We have high school girls that are on the track for the USA Sevens team if they can keep things going. We have some girls that, who knows, maybe they could be in the Olympics in 2020 or 2032.
I think we'll have a couple of Iowa girls on that team for sure.
And then Audrey Clay of Norwalk, she's a senior. She plays center for Norwalk. She is a 3-star ranked recruit from Rugby Prep Watch.
Yeah, I saw that today as well.
Really cool to see that. Some more news and notes. USA men had an international match against the Argentina XV, the 15. So I said on the last episode, Argentina should beat USA by 3 tries. I was talking about Las Pumas, the top side. So USA men, the international team, our best team, played against Argentina's second side.
But we won, though.
We beat them 25-24. And the finish, dude, insane. USA, a win is a win. A lot of people are like, it wasn't Argentina's top side, but a win is a win. Our discipline wasn't the best. There was a time USA was starting to pull away a little bit. But then we got a couple of yellow cards, and we let Argentina 15 come back in. Argentina had the ball inside the 5 at the death. If Argentina would have kicked the ball in, they would have won the game. If they would have scored, next score wins, we created a turnover, USA wins on home soil. And you know who I saw in the crowd?
Joey Jeffries?
No.
Damn it. He was there, though.
Tim Oxenford.
Even better.
Maybe Joe. I mean, he was probably sitting right next to him.
Joey was right in front of him. So
okay, so I probably said, but it was funny because Tim put something on his Instagram, watching this, and then I was like, "Hey, I'm watching that on my TV." 3 minutes later, the flanker scores for USA, and it goes to the crowd, and I'm like, "That's Tim!"
Yeah.
Where did they play at? They play in
Florida.
It was in Florida. Yep.
Okay.
There was a Hall of Fame ceremony. There's a bunch of USA stuff going on, but huge win for USA. Keep getting wins. A lot of discipline needs to be fixed, but USA, they've won their last 4 matches. And then in September 12th, they will begin the Pacific Nations Cup, that second half of it. And they're going to play Japan in Osaka. That's a huge match coming up because they went 3-0 in the first half of the Pacific Nation. Or no, sorry. I'm talking about a different thing, a Champions thing. God, I wish Nichols was here. I'm completely, I think, messing it up.
Idiot.
Pacific Nations Cup. Japan's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
But we've won the last 4 matches we've played.
Japan's been looking really tough. Really tough.
Yeah. So big for USA. Did you guys watch that match at all?
I watched the highlights of it on YouTube.
I also saw highlights because I was at Red Clay Strays. So
yeah.
You're at what?
Red Clay Strays, the State Fair.
It's like a band that played.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Yeah.
This
Next
is
slide.
What,
Next
okay.
slide.
What this is what it sounds
There's
like.
no point, man.
I was at Shashang. Oh yeah, that's what I heard. I was at Mush.
That's
Oh
not-
yeah,
Japanese.
That checks out.
I didn't hear what you said. I was at Shmush Shmush Tush Tush.
I might have been taking a little nap when the game was playing.
USA Rugby announced that T1 will be the official non-contact adaptation of rugby, and they're going to introduce it to youth and high school stuff. Can I be honest with you guys?
Yes, please.
So we have T3 rugby. I think T3 is pretty cool.
T3 is pretty cool.
Right? I think as like men, when we play T3, it's like, hey, you learn how to manipulate the defense and it sets up that next offload, right? USA Rugby got money from World Rugby, and USA Rugby announced this partnership with CRAA, and everybody's saying we need to do more stuff like we just said with kids.
Yeah.
So USA Rugby comes out and like, hey, we're going to do this thing called T1 Rugby. And a bunch of people are like, what is that? What is that? Can't find it. And then someone's like, it's from England. And it's kind of convoluted, kind of confusing, blah, 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 blah. I feel like this announcement, and whatever, you can clip it, you can say it, whatever. I think it's all for show. I think it's a PR thing to say, hey, look, we're doing stuff for the youth. Until I see people in PE class and I see youth programs happening and USA Rugby people making it happen, I think that's just a PR thing. Okay, you're going to email out, here's how you play T1. Give it to a PE teacher. I don't know. I think it looks good on paper. Oh, this is the official youth program. And maybe this is like a meatball take, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I've seen what Chris Draper is doing with T3. I've seen him in my middle school. I've seen him create the middle school T3 program in Central Iowa. I've seen how he runs those camps. He boots on the ground. He's making shit happen. Mm-hmm. This whole press release from USA Rugby, until they actually do something, it's just words on paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, words on the screen.
Yeah, it just
even worse, Wikipedia.
Right.
Yeah, well, and again, we already have T3.
Yeah. What is T1? Is it just like a touch softer version of T3?
No, I didn't look it up. I didn't care. Until something like hits me in the face.
And Iowa will be sticking to the T3.
It could be the greatest thing ever. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Could be.
It's NRL. It's not even.
Could be so cool. All right. Last thing I have for news and notes. Did you guys watch it all? The 2026 USA Club Rugby Sevens National Championships. That is the best of the best. Mm-hmm. Senior side Club Sevens. I mean, you got people who former professionals, current professionals, aspiring professionals, people who've played for the Eagles. There was a lot of big names, a lot of up and comers as well. I was lucky enough to work with Next Level Rugby. I was on commentary for a handful of matches. That was really cool. Really appreciate working with those guys and gals. In the women's bracket, the final four was the Chicago Lions. They defeated San Diego. And then on the other side, we almost had a repeat. Chicago North Shore, they finished second last year. They lose to the Scion Sirens. Scion, dude, these women, they were on fire all weekend. They end up getting first place. So Scion defeats the defending champions, Chicago Lions, 31-19.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big upset there, but not really. Scion, they had 4 national titles before. It's just Chicago had more recently.
Yeah.
But man, the level of play, these top teams, they were cooking, man.
Where's Scion from?
Oh man, that is such a good
California?
question. Scion Sirens. I know where they're from. I just want to make sure I have the exact. Yeah, Phil, talk.
He doesn't know.
Dude, I talked about them all.
Yeah,
I talked about them all weekend.
You got a lot of stuff going on. You got a baby.
I will say, while you look that up, I did watch both the finals, and I only tuned in when I knew that Gray was going to be talking. And it was just making me laugh because Malcolm was watching it with me. He was like, is is that Kobe's dad? Is that Kobe's dad? It's like, yeah, actually, it is Mr. Gray.
It's me. Oh, shucks. You guys. This is gonna annoy me because
Oh no,
I feel like they're like they sound like an Oregon or California,
like West Coast
team. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
The whole time they're from like
Connecticut or something.
Maine, right?
Yeah.
Long Beach.
And then in the men's side of things, right?
I thought that was really cool.
Oh, dude.
Because the old blue. Okay, I'm gonna give it out.
Go nuts.
The old blue winning 15s and that team captain. I mean, he's a TikTok star. If you guys didn't know, I follow his TikTok. He makes funny rugby stuff with his team out in New York. But to see him super excited and doing his dance in 15s when he won nationals in D1, the MVP,
Washington D.C.
Washington, okay,
and East Coast. I knew that. I just wanted to double check.
Wow, see, East Coast.
But
yeah, you never do that.
But seeing him win 15s and do his dance and just be so excited and humble about the win, and then seeing him turn around and do it in sevens, and then seeing two Iowa Central vets. I forget the guy's name with the long dreads. He played back like a couple years after me and Victor left, and then Cohen Webb on that side
Cohen Webb, dude.
with that interception. And like I really like seeing the old Blues do their thing this year and just dominate USA rugby.
And New York Old Blue, they defeated Northern Virginia 17-12. You also had the Detroit Tradesmen. They defeated St. Louis Bombers 19-10 in the third place match.
Bombers got some IC guys on there too.
Oh man! And then
Leopold.
The Mystic River Gulls, they were a fun team. I really liked watching them. Kansas City Reds, they were a fun team. Invictus Redheimer.
Redheimer. Shoot, Denver has Max Murphy.
If you didn't watch it, there's just so much great talent there. Really
so
great
much
people.
Iowa in there that people just hidden in all these other teams. So much Iowa products or Iowa college products coming to that stage.
Yeah. Well, and again, what was really, really cool, Madison, Wisconsin, up in Cottage Grove, that facility,
it's so nice.
Dude, it's so nice. And it just was an amazing thing. And the things I heard, the clubhouse, the people, everything, from my point of view, doing commentary for him, it was awesome. Excited to do something like that again because it was just great.
Yeah,
but
I want to play there so bad.
I did say this
a handful of times.
I haven't though.
Yeah, grow up.
I know.
I don't know, figure it out. Find a way to get there.
Now look, they did the select sides that one year, and I didn't go that year. So I went the next year, and then we played at Chicago, outside of the Hound Stadium, which is still cool.
That was cool.
And then they go back the next year, and I don't go. And then they go back to the Hound Stadium the year I go again. It was a 4-year chase trying to get to Madison just to play on that field.
maybe we can figure something out. It's amazing up there, man, and I love what they do. And
I'll go for the whole week, and I go to the Dells after.
I did tell Phil and Vic this after I did commentary. I did so many matches, and watching all that rugby and seeing people get all excited and raise a trophy, I was like, man, we should win some matches this fall. I'm tired of watching other people win. Like, come on, let's go to mid.
We got
Just be better then.
That's the goal,
really.
Phil.
Be better than everybody else.
I think we have the keys.
The Tyler the Creator quote.
I want to be better than everybody because I hate everybody.
Because I hate everybody, and I want them to know.
But I don't hate everybody though. I like most people.
Yeah, I've never seen you hate anybody. I said I've never seen it.
And with that being said, that's our news and notes. Just want to say again, thank you for joining us. Up next, though, talking about sevens, Nebraska Cornhuskers. They are a D1AA NCR team, formerly CRAA in the Heart of America. They made the jump. They have a player who is getting looked at for the USA Olympic team. Here's what's crazy. Guess how long he's been playing rugby for? I'm not going to say. You have to watch the interview to find out. But again, if you enjoy the B Side Boys Rugby Podcast, you can always donate to our Venmo. that helps us with production, that helps us with live streams and things like that. Right in front of Phil's face. I shouldn't cover Phil. Yeah. We are going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors. And then after you hear from our sponsors, we're going to talk to Drew Mosier from the University of Nebraska. Really awesome stuff. On the opposite side from that, we're going to talk about some things that you should watch for. But again, thank you for joining us and watching this on a Wednesday morning.
Ugh. I got to go to work.
You guys are deep in the trenches right now.
Get me out of here.
We're late.
I got to take care of my new baby. He's so sleepy. You hear him stomping around up there?
He wants milk.
Oh, great. All right. Well, love you guys. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors here. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's why choosing the right real estate team matters. The Jenny Farrell team with RE/MAX Concepts has been helping families across the Des Moines metro find the right home since 1998. Born and raised right here in the community, Jenny understands the neighborhoods, the market, and what truly makes a house feel like home. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading your space, or preparing to sell, the Jenny Farrell team provides expert guidance every step of the way, from market analysis and listings to negotiations and closing. Their consultative approach means you'll feel confident, informed, and supported throughout the entire process. Jenny Farrell Team, RE/MAX Concepts. Call or text 515-779-7500. Visit jenniferfarrell.remax.com. Experience you can trust. Results you can move into.
In the heart of Des Moines, one name stands above the rest. Step inside, where tradition still matters. Warm, familiar, unmistakably Iowa, where every guest is welcomed like family. Service that's personal and never rushed. Fresh starts made daily. Iowa beef, hand-seasoned. Guided by fire, built on flavor. Served with pride. A bar as bold as the menu. Featuring the old-fashioned we're known for. A place that stays with you long after the night ends. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines. Steak done right.
What happens when Iowa grain meets world-class craftsmanship? At Revelton Distilling Company, every bottle begins right here in the heartland. From locally sourced Iowa corn and rye to the final pour, our grain-to-glass process ensures exceptional quality in every sip. Whether you're enjoying our award-winning mulberry gin, smooth honey whiskey, or rich whiskey and cream liqueur, you're tasting the best of Iowa in every bottle. And now, Revelton can ship directly to 48 states across the country. Visit ReveltonDistillery.com and have Iowa's finest delivered right to your door.
At Three Beards Media, giving back to our community has always been at the heart of what we do. That's why we're proud to welcome No Pros Remodeling as our official community outreach partner. Thinking about transforming your home? From stunning kitchen renovations, all while still being able to use your kitchen, to gorgeous bathroom remodels that take a fraction of the time, No Pros delivers craftsmanship you'll love. Best of all, they can help you save up to 75% compared to the other guys. When you're ready to transform your home into your dream home, call No Pros Remodeling at 515-679-6509 or visit www.nopros.com. No Pros Remodeling, creating stunning home transformations while helping Three Beards Media make a difference in our communities.
All right, and we are joined in the interview portion of the show by Drew Mosier. Drew from the University of Nebraska. Huge trip coming up behind the scenes here. It's early Saturday morning to fit this interview in. Couldn't come during the normal time because you've got a big trip coming up. Where are you heading?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm heading down to South Africa for a few months for the Springbok Academy, the SAS Academy. And yeah, I'm heading down Monday actually, and it's a long trip, about 20 hours of flying down there. So it's pretty excited for that.
Huge opportunity for you. So yeah, when your coach reached out and he's like, hey, you might want to talk to this guy. He's got a huge opportunity coming up, and then looked at the schedule like, yeah, I got to get a hold of you now because who knows what the internet looks like down there where they couldn't stream the USA women's matches down in South Africa. So I'm like, I got to get him before he heads out. But yeah, what a huge opportunity. So tell the people a little bit about who you are. You're at the University of Nebraska. You've got this huge opportunity. So your rugby story, how did you get involved into rugby, and how did it take you to Nebraska, starting off, to introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, so a little background information. I went to high school in Nebraska, just 20 minutes from campus, and I did sports my whole life. I wrestled and did track and football. I did all that. There wasn't much rugby around that I knew, and so I was done with sports. I retired from sports my high school senior year. I said I was done. I said I'd do some rec sports, but my roommate came to Chaffin, and his dad had played rugby for a long time, and that's who I was rooming with in college my freshman year. And they're nagging me, and like his dad played at UNL 30 years ago or whatever, and he's like, "You'd be perfect, man. Like you're the wrestler. I ran that 4 and 8 in track." And they're just hounding on me to get out. And I didn't go out my freshman year. And then I finally, sophomore year, just sevens. So in this February, I went out for sevens for the first time. And I loved it. And I loved the team. And so I've only been playing rugby for about 8 months now, just about. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah.
That is an amazing turnaround, especially about this opportunity that you're getting the chance. And we kind of talked beforehand. What's so cool about this sport is, if you can ball, people will find you. And rugby coach Joe, he had this Substack article come out this past week, and he talked about on his social media about who are the best crossover athletes. And he was talking about the skills of wrestling and how they translate, the skills in track, the skills in football. Basketball is one people don't think of. And, with this background you are a high IQ athlete, you're a great athlete in multiple disciplines. How has that helped you? And what skills from those sports, how did those translate into rugby to help you jump from never playing rugby, you're playing a club sport, and now you're having a chance at an opportunity with the USA Olympic 7 squad?
Yeah, definitely wrestling. I mean, wrestling is, the mentality on that is, it's the hardest sport I've ever played. And it's, especially the muscular endurance too. It's really similar to sevens is what I've figured out. I mean, I've always said from the conditioning side, the fitness side of it, it's like a combination of my wrestling conditioning and my 800 and 400 long distance conditioning. So it's the worst of both worlds, I guess, for that. But I definitely for defensive mentality. I mean, you're in a constant state of motion, and when you're taking somebody down and you're tackling them, it's one-on-one. And I think that's a big aspect of what wrestling brings to it. I mean, you're on especially sevens, you're on a pedestal half the time, an open field. I mean, it's only you that can make that tackle. And I think wrestling has helped the most for sure.
And that's something too. I think we think of the physical skills and traits so much. And that's something with wrestling. I think you hit the nail on the head, because if you miss that tackle, there's no one back deep to cover for you. There's no backside help because the gaps are so big. If you miss that tackle, that's 5 points the other way. And like you said, in wrestling, I was a okay wrestler in Iowa, and I counted the lights many times. And when the whole gym is staring at you, that is the same as when you're one-on-one in open field. And again, as a front row player playing sevens in the summer, I've been exposed in the middle of the field. There's a mentality there of one-on-one, I'm better than you, I'm going to make this tackle. And that's, I think, a huge thing, the mentality of it. And so now walk me through. So you join rugby because your roommate, his dad, they're hounding you. And that's rugby across the board, right? Recruiting. Hey, you'd love it. You'd love it. We tell everybody that. I mean, you definitely have the skills to translate, but even if you didn't, they'd still tell you you'd love it. You'd be great at it. Now walk me through, you join the Nebraska program, you start playing sevens. When was that first aha moment that you're like, all right, rugby's for me. This is pretty cool. And I might be all right at this.
Yeah, it was that first tournament for sure. I think we were playing Iowa Central's team, and the year before they had won the national championship in sevens, and I was super stoked to go and play them. And they didn't have Taku and Cohen Webb or whatever anymore, but we went and played them the first game, and I think we went up at half. We were up by 7 or 14, and I think we played defense for about 6 minutes the second half. So everybody was dead, and but we went and stopped them at the end, and nobody scored that second half. And I honestly, that's what I love. I love that part of it. And the coach he loved it. I don't know how many tackles I made that second half, probably like 10 or 12 or something like that. But that part, I'm like, once the defense got to, I was tired and it was physical. That's when I'm like, yeah, this might be pretty fun.
That's awesome. And then going up against, one of your first experiences, you're facing national championship caliber team of varsity program. And, you mentioned some of those names, Cohen Webb, Taku. Those are guys that we're seeing. They played at Iowa Central. They move on to, Wheeling for Taku, St. Bonaventure for Cohen Webb. They have been playing for the men's seven sides. And, we just saw the USA Club Sevens National Championship. They're doing awesome stuff. They've been on people's radars for years. So how does a guy like you in 8 months get noticed by USA Rugby, especially from a D1AA program? I mean, it's so hard for guys who've been around for high school into college and they're trying to make these camps and get noticed. You've done it in 8 months. How did that happen? And what was that phone call or messaging like when it's like, hey, we're interested in you?
Yeah, I think I'm not really. I went and asked Coach Test about it. I was just like, I don't even know how I'm here. Like this has all happened so fast. I got like a call 2 or 3 weeks before the camp, and they're like, "Hey, you want to?" Before the U.S. camp in San Diego that I went to, and it's all happened super fast. But he did say some coaches mentioned him or mentioned me to him, and I guess he must have a lot of contacts with the D1AA coaches. I know Louisville, after we played them in the national championship first round. Mm-hmm. I know he had some words for me after, and I think Oregon's coach after we played them had some words about me too.
Gotcha.
But that was
kind of one of those things, just word of mouth when it's just people are talking and they're just like, that dude. I don't remember his name, but watch the film, number whatever, that's the guy. And then after watching a little bit of film and talking the NCR, the CRC Sevens, the Collegiate Rugby Championship down in Maryland. You guys had a tough opening match. It was to the eventual national champions, right, in Louisville. Yeah. You guys were so close, and that's just the brutality of this sport is that the ball can bounce one way, and you guys lose a close one to Louisville. You're now in the bottom half of the teams when you played Louisville closer than anybody else the whole tournament. What have you learned about just the heartbreak and the excitement of this sport through that tournament? Because what a fantastic tournament too, right? You have the film, the production, there's hundreds of teams, over 300 matches. What was that experience like for you as well? And then again, playing against top level talent, what was your biggest takeaways from that weekend?
Yeah, I had never been to a rugby tournament like that. The rugby tournaments I went to is usually just kind of like an open field. And it was, when I went to that, I was astounded. It was awesome. The production was so cool. It was real cool. But yeah, when you're going back to like the heartbreak sevens, I can always just relate it back to wrestling. Mm-hmm. I mean, it happens so fast, and you can't take any moment in a game for granted at all, or else it could slip from you real fast. I mean, we were up 14 or 20 points at one point, and I think we missed 3. We turned over 3 kickoffs to us in a row. Like it happens super fast. And I mean, the heartbreak, I think that for me, that's always fueled the fire for the next season. And whenever I'm training or when I'm tired, that's I'm remembering that, looking back on that feeling. And I'm so excited to play some sevens again. I've never played 15s, I guess, but
yeah, I think you'll be fine. It's the same skills. Everything's just slowed down a little bit because there's so many more bodies, but you still have those one-on-one competitions. You still have those kind of moments, but with you focusing on sevens, you can see the suitcase packed. I mean, you're ready to hit the door and get going. Now, talk us about this camp. What is this camp exactly? Like, who are you playing for? Who are you playing with? And what could come from this?
Yeah, so the last day of the camp in San Diego, the U.S. developmental camp that I got invited to, Coach Tess sat me down and he was telling me I think you're a raw rugby player, which I've been playing for seven months, but he liked my physical stature and whatnot, and he thought, hey, like they have a sponsorship with this camp, and they send one US guy down there every year. And he was pretty much saying this would fast track you to the national team circuit. I mean, I think he's described it like this camp is like 1 or 2 years of training in the US.
Wow.
So I was talking to the guy who went last year from the US, and pretty much this camp, you have like the best doctors and trainers and all that. And they sit you down for about 2.5 months in a training period, and they train you fitness wise and a ton of skills. And then the next month and a half, you go and play the surrounding sevens teams.
Okay.
So like in that spot of South Africa, sevens is pretty big. So there's a lot of club teams around. And then they're also they might bring down the Springbok sevens B team or whatever that would go and play them.
If you would have been told this, a year ago, you're sitting in your dorm room with your buddy, his dad's there, and someone would have said, hey man, a year from now, you're going to have the opportunity to train and practice with the Springboks, and you're going to be living down in South Africa. What would you say to yourself, or what would you say to that person if they're like, hey man, you have a chance to do this?
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it for a second, which it's just a testament to going out for new things, and especially rugby, man. Like there's no reason not to go out, especially if you're a good athlete that has a good past of athletics. That's
yeah. And would you say too, I mean, was there a chance like you wanted to play college football and it didn't happen, or college wrestling? And
I was done. Like I swore I got recruited a little bit for both, but I said I pretty much declined everything. I'm saying I'm done. But I've gone a little bit crazy in the last year. I kind of missed the competitiveness.
Oh yeah. And what would that mean for you to represent Team USA? Because again, this isn't a guarantee by any means. You're going to go down there. You have a lot to learn. Again, like Coach Tess said to you, you're raw. So they see the physical traits that you have. They see your mentality. They see your work rate. But you still have so much to learn IQ-wise and skill-wise to get you to that point. But let's say everything goes well. You stick with it. Everything kind of goes your way. And you find your way to represent Team USA. And you have a chance to play in the Olympics. What would that mean to you?
I mean, it would mean everything. I mean, the whole rugby community in a whole, I think it's a good sum up of them, but so many people have helped me out so far and on my journey. And I think getting to that top level and being able to compete at that point, not just for myself, but for all the people that have helped me along the way. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, it's to show and represent, especially Nebraska rugby and all my club coaches and stuff. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. No, that is awesome. And we're definitely going to be rooting for you and following along. And that's the thing too, even though we're in Iowa and, sometimes maybe I root for Iowa football and Nebraska's kind of fun to dog on Twitter, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to bring that up. Even though I wore a red shirt just for this, even though it has the Iowa, whatever.
Gosh, whatever. Yeah. At least it's not at least not Iowa football. That's all right.
Well, we can stay away from that, but no, man, everybody's going to be rooting for you because we love to see it. And again, I just think it's so cool that, again, in this sport, if you can ball out, if you can show up and do the work, you can play at the highest levels. I think you're a testament to that. And like I said, I mean, we'll be following along. We'll be supporting. If there's any way people can support you, I mean, is there a way they can follow, or if you need help fundraising for trips or things like that, is there a way people can reach out or follow along or support you on this journey?
I can figure that out, but the U.S. team is sending me down there, so that's pretty cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, I mean, you can go
on Instagram or something, or
Instagram. We'll probably be posting stuff on the UNL Rugby on Instagram. I'll be taking some videos and posting on there while I'm down there. But
nice. Well, awesome, man. No, thank you again for joining us. And like I said, we're going to follow along, and maybe we'll check back in a couple of months and just kind of see how camp's going. Because again, to see beyond that part of it, we look at so many things locally. We love watching the USA stuff, but I don't know, to have someone who's actually in there, that'd be kind of cool to see that side of it, to go again from local, because your story is so similar to so many guys who great high school athlete. They don't play their their high school main sport in college. They find rugby. It just happens and they love it. And then to see now you're moving to those next levels, I think it'd be really cool for a lot of our guys to see what this side of it looks like. So we'll be following along, man. And no, we're just super excited for you. So keep in touch and good luck, man. Ball out and earn that spot.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Yep, you too.
We are back from that interview. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Again, still learning all the buttons and all the stuff. Really cool stuff there from Mr. Moser.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can go down to South Africa. And, I mean, he's there now. We'll catch back up with him and see what he's up to. It's just cool to see, too, and I said it multiple times in an interview. If you can ball, right? If you can play ball, if you can ball out and show you can, produce, they will find you. You will move up the ranks, and I know a lot of times it's like, oh man, USA Rugby, they look for the guys from, Cal and Life and Lindenwood. But the last match before the Argentina match, the man of the match was from, I'm pretty sure he was an alumni of Clemson, an NCR team, right? Like Paul Emmerich. And obviously, you and I guys, right?
Yeah.
Paul Emmerich, University of Northern Iowa, former wrestler, probably the greatest backline player in the history of USA Rugby. He went to UNI.
Yeah.
He balled out at a select side tournament. Tom Billups from Cal Rugby saw him and said, this guy should come to camp. And then he's an Eagle for a decade and becomes the most decorated Eagle. If you can play this sport, you will stand out. People will find you. And good luck to Drew as he heads down there and he tries to fast track himself to the Olympic Sevens team. Just really cool to see. And again, 8 months of rugby. It just shows.
That's crazy.
If you have those skills, if you have a work rate, if you have a willingness to learn, and you get the job done, it doesn't matter what school you go to, you will get found.
Yeah.
Good episode. No.
Yeah. Peace, guys.
Yeah.
That was great.
No. Good interview. Good stuff. Actually, oh man, I should take this off. Our next segment here, presented by Tri-Line Rugby Photos. What the Ruck?
Yeah, these are so fun. I love these.
The whole time it's just said pregnant.
I know. Stole my wife's shirt. I told her, I'm like, hey, after you have the baby, can I have that shirt? Because it'll
fit you now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and she doesn't need it because she's gonna be all tiny again. I'm like, let me wear this shirt. And
what the Ruck? Now it's time for the boys to take something from the world of rugby that might be confusing and break it down for you. This segment is brought to you by Tri-Line Photo. You made an incredible rugby play, and she caught it. Starting at $2 a photo, follow on the social media to get professional photos at your next rugby event.
All right, so we are in the What the Ruck segment where we break down something from rugby that might be confusing to non-rugby fans, and honestly, it might be confusing to current rugby people, but they've been in rugby for too long. They're afraid to ask the question. So today, Philly V, what are we breaking down?
Oh, the seasonal changes of rugby, and you got 15s, you got 7s. I actually get that question a lot. When's your guys' season?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When people go,
practice starts.
People go, when is rugby?
Yeah.
Because when you think NFL, all right, it's August to February.
Yeah.
Right? When is baseball? Well, you got your winter meetings. It starts in April, and then you go till October, right? Rugby is fascinating because there are so many different things happening. Simply put, it's a year-long sport.
Oh, yeah.
There is always rugby. There is no off season.
Yeah, when there's not rugby, there's rugby prep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so for people who say, if we're going to answer the question, when is rugby? In Iowa, you have girls high school sevens in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
You have boys high school sevens in the spring. You have men's senior side, us, old guys, and women, and college. You play your competitive 15s in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the spring is normally sevens, but then also in summer is like a summer sevens circuit.
Yeah. Men's and women's, it's sevens in the summer.
Mhm.
College, it's sevens in the spring.
Yeah, because they go home over the summer. And Phil, you brought up a good point too. And this is something interesting. So
this is behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. So there was do you guys follow the Sickos Committee on Instagram or Twitter?
That's a new one.
So Sickos is like a college football fan group who they love like just like the craziest shit in football, like the boring shit. Like when Navy runs like yeah, and they do it for 19 plays and it takes 13 minutes off the clock. They love it. They love when Iowa because they love punts and they love safeties. So Sickos Committee, they shared all the national champions for rugby. But the thing was, there was like 20 plus champions because you have, and this was just college, you have NCR, you have CRAA, you have D1, D1A, D1AA, D2, D3, you have men's, you have women's, you have 15s, you have sevens.
Yeah.
It's a shitload of stuff, and people are just like all confused. You were talking about it. Some teams on the West Coast and in the South, they're like, oh yeah, it's rugby season. We start in January.
Yeah. It's actually quite a few. Like, like a certain line across the U.S., it's like, hey, we play like, the winter, essentially. Like, and then for us, it's fall and it's like, it can be stupid hot those first few weeks. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, you make it into playoffs. We, for some reason on the men's side and like women's side and stuff, we do playoffs, like the whole Sweet 16 thing. It's like still in the middle of fucking winter.
Yeah.
It'll be like snowing. It's like, God damn.
That's what's crazy about our season. So this weekend on the 22nd, we go up to Dubuque. Who knows? There's been times we played matches where it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And then you go to playoffs, mid-October. We've gone to Oconomowoc, where it is a frozen field, mud, and it's snowing. It's the same season, but it's 140 degrees different.
Dude, literally.
With the wind chill. It's insane. And like,
so when we were at UNI at Stout, it was like, oh yeah, fall season, beginning of it, stupid hot, like 90-some degrees. We go to Stout, Wisconsin to play for a playoff match, and they're scraping ice off the field, and we played on turf, and there was like 2 foot of fucking snow.
Well,
it's like, dude, what is going on?
Time out. We didn't go to Stout. Stout's not a place.
Well, you know what I mean. The college, whatever.
Menominee.
That whole weekend was a blur.
That is a city name?
Menominee. Yeah. Wisconsin has that. Oh, Oshkosh Bagosh and Oconomowoc, Menominee. Like Wisconsin has a. Oh, come on. Like, what are we doing? They just. what are we doing?
I'm from Menominee.
Yeah, Menominee. No, but and that's the thing. Like, rugby season is all the time.
Yeah.
But the big one is the fall. I would say for us, fall is the competitive season, and I think too that is why we get lost in the shuffle because Saturday is a rugby day. Well, so is college football.
Yeah, it's hard to beat against college football sometimes.
But I will say some of my most favorite memories of rugby are you play an 11 a.m. match or a 1 p.m. match of rugby. You go to the social and the Hawkeye game's on.
Yeah.
The Iowa State game is on.
Dude.
And then you go to the bars and all the Pac-12 games were on. And you're watching the Hawaii game.
We were in Iowa City that one year. We played Iowa City at home.
Penn State?
Penn State.
Yeah.
Penn State. That was so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, you play your rugby match. You're all sweaty. You're dirty. You're in your little short shorts or your little booty shorts. And you're all hyped up. A lot of adrenaline. And obviously we won. Obviously. So you hit the town. And you're just hyped up. You're feeling good. And college football is going on. I feel like the intersection there is awesome.
It was so fun.
The amount of times we've been in Iowa City on game day, and I'm talking to college students like, you should play for the Ducks.
Yeah, it's so fun.
God. Oh, yeah. So, no. That's anything else about seasonality. So, rugby is an all the time thing. World Cup is coming up in 2027. That's going to be in the fall. You got the Olympics coming up in 2028. That'll be in the summer. There's just always rugby all the time.
Yeah. It's literally year round.
Yeah.
So awesome. I mean, like, even for us, it's like you get 2-3 months off, really.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a high school coach or involved with high school, yes.
No.
Well, I mean, I'm Mr. No Days Off. That's what people call me.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that. Yeah.
That's what I've known you as. Yeah.
Let's move to the next segment here. This segment is called What to Watch.
Oh, I thought that was the whole, hey, we got the Olympics coming up and World Cup. And
well, those are things you should watch.
We need. What are you going to watch in the next 2 weeks, Phil?
That's a good point.
Well, Outer Banks season 5's coming out.
Stop it.
Outer. You're gonna come up in here talking Outer Banks.
Get the hell off our show.
Get him out of here.
This is why it's been 3 years since I've been on.
Yeah. Bring some stupid ass steak talking Outer Banks.
This is why you didn't make the car.
Darn it.
Hey, did you watch new episodes of It's Always Sunny?
No, I'm gonna go do that when we get off this call, or not call, but when we get done with this podcast, I was gonna go do that at home. So
you guys are old.
Guess what? I enjoyed them.
I heard it was really good.
That is funny that you say that because this is season 18, which means they would be, if It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was a human, they would be graduating high school.
It's crazy.
And you've been watching all 18 years
since they came out.
Yeah.
I remember being like a junior in high school, watching the preview for like It's Always Sunny coming soon. I remember like, oh, that looks interesting, and yep, shaped who I am.
Ooh, who would have known how much it changed our lives?
Yeah. The amount of times you guys have given out little quotes from that, and you both are laughing, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah. And you're like, you've never seen that before?
Also, too, white people. Like,
Oh,
darn it.
So, what to watch? Outer Banks season 5. It's Always Sunny. First 2 episodes are out. But I will say, to the rugby stuff, and again, I wish we had Nichols because he could talk about this more. Saturday, August 22nd, the Springboks, they're going to play the All Blacks at 10:10 a.m. So South Africa, New Zealand, in the self-proclaimed rugby's greatest rivalry. It's the test for number 1. They're going to play each other. It's the first time in 30 years that they've done it. This will be on Rugby Pass.
Yeah.
So that's the top one, man. Like, if you want to see the best of the best, Rugby Pass, it's free. And
the best.
Dude, that app is sick. Also, I was all like, ooh, the Sharks. They played New Zealand. Oh, my God. New Zealand beat the brakes off of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Expected.
Yeah.
Did you see Nanu's
rebuttal haka?
I felt like I understood what he was saying, and I dropped a tear just because of like the emotion that all went with it. That was pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, if Bremer drops a haka, like us guys who played for Bremer, we'll stand up and like we'll do what he
say
did.
It back to him.
Yeah, we'll do it. But no, that was a cool moment. But also too, how old is he? 44?
43.
43 years old playing professional rugby.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Truly an anomaly.
And honestly, I don't see him stopping anytime soon.
No,
the way he's running the ball.
Dude, his first take, I was like, dude, if he played for us, he would score 8 tries a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
8 tries, shoot. That's if he's only played 20 minutes.
Yeah, right? No, dude is a hammer. And, yeah, just a fun dude to watch. And, again, the fact he's playing with the Sharks, I think they have him more as like a coaching – he's like a player coach. Like they have him in a positional thing.
Like a mentor on the team. Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, he's going to do coaching, but also, too, like, I can still play.
Yeah.
The next one, the Lions are going to play against the All Blacks on Tuesday, August 25th at noon. It's not a test, but here's the thing. The All Blacks, they're on this tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
How often can you watch the All Blacks play at noon on a Tuesday?
True.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of awesome, right?
Well, if you're Nichols, it doesn't hardly work, then yeah, I get that.
Yeah. He's always, hey.
That's right.
I'll watch it at work.
Some of us are busy.
Saturday, August 29th, the Springboks, they play the All Blacks again at 10:10. at DHL Stadium in Cape Town. So this is the second time. So they're going to play each other twice. And I think you're going to see a shuffling of rosters. We'll talk to Nichols next time about why they do that. But
that's what I'm excited to see is the rosters that they put together, because there's so many young bucks coming out of Australia or South Africa. Sorry. Yeah. And then, I mean, New Zealand just has the pick of the draw.
Right. Well, and like you watch them play on the 22nd, they get to play a week later. What adjustments are they going to make? Because I honestly think, like, if one of these teams goes 2-0, holy smokes, that's going to be huge. Because I honestly think they're going to split. I think someone's going to win the first game.
Yeah.
And I think the other team's going to make the proper adjustments to win the second game.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. If a team goes 2-0, the team that goes 0-2, their country and their podcasts and their pundits will be on full-on meltdown.
Yeah.
Fire the coach, cut all the players, shut it down, restart it. We suck. Everybody sucks.
Very prideful teams.
Oh, yeah. It's rugby's greatest rivalry. But if you go 0-2 in that,
seeing those rosters, though, if you're a starter the first game and you're a starter the second game, that says a lot about you.
Oh, yeah.
As a player to watch.
Oh, yeah. Another one on the 29th. So you watch the Springboks play the All Blacks at 10:10. At 2:00, Argentina, Las Pumas, not the second side. Argentina's top side, they play Australia.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That's going to be on Rugby Pass as well. That'll be a huge matchup.
Yeah.
Really good test match there. And then the last one I got, just between August 21st and the 30th, the Currie Cup will pick back up in South Africa. So there's 2 rounds in this little window of the 2-week period. The Bulls will play the Stormers on the 21st, and then the Lions will play the Stormers on the 28th, and the Sharks will play the Bulls on the 28th. So Currie Cup, it's a fun South African tournament, and it'll be interesting to see how those clubs react after they played the New Zealand All Blacks. Now they're playing each other again. How do they bounce back? Again, if you want to watch top-level rugby, New Zealand, South Africa, watch it. And just so people know, USA Eagles, they did just beat Argentina 15, 25-24. They don't have a match in the next couple of weeks, but they will pick back up in the Pacific Nations Cup on September 12th when USA plays Japan in Osaka. Fiji will play Canada. And again, this is a semifinal. Some really cool stuff. Top 14 begins September 5th. And the Premiership, the Prem, as Nichols would say, the Prem, and the URC, they don't start until September, later September. So, yeah, some big stuff popping up here soon. So, Rugby Pass, get it. USA Rugby, they're going to be coming up soon. Watch rugby. And with that being said, watching rugby, another place you can watch rugby this Saturday in Waverly, Bremer County Bucks, they host Des Moines Rugby's D3 team. Or in Dubuque, the Wombats, us, we head to Dubuque, we play rugby. Go out and support your local rugby club. Find who your local rugby club is.
Yeah, we're the only D3 teams probably playing because it's the only teams that are in it.
Well, no, I was thinking too, we might have listeners in, I don't know, Pittsburgh.
Piss.
People in other
my
states.
worst fear is being born in Pittsburgh.
No, I just go out and support your local rugby clubs. Des Moines D2, did you look that up? Do they have a match this weekend?
Yeah, they are in Palmer.
They are at Palmer.
Yes,
so
they are.
In Davenport.
Two Iowa teams. They're playing.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
I was doing the thing. Yeah.
Those are all 3 games in Iowa that are worth watching.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, he says. There it is.
Right.
There, I figured that out.
Finally.
I got it.
No.
College rugby really doesn't start until we got a couple weeks. High school girls rugby doesn't start for about a month. But get out, support rugby.
Do it.
Yeah, I think I actually think, because I'm a high school referee as well. They start the week after they start school, so they start school on Monday. Correct.
Yep.
So they got
24th.
2 weeks. So it'd be September what?
We figured out
they
where
play
we're
on
streaming
Mondays
first. Not yet?
I haven't gotten the word yet where we're streaming. But that'll be cool because you can actually stream with me because you're not coaching.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll come at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Let me know where you guys are streaming, and I'll say that's where I'll referee that weekend. And I can be on the video, just not talking.
We'll zoom in on you. We'll talk about you. But like,
never mind. Actually, I don't want to be recorded refereeing. I make bad decisions.
And we'll say normally I always tell the other commentators, I'm like, hey, like, give grace to the referees. But if I see you down, I'll be like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? What
idiot.
Fucking
I mean,
stupid,
give me what
idiot,
I give them.
Idiot, stupid, savage,
idiot.
With that being said,
he has no idea
go
what
get
was just
certified.
quoted. Well, there was just certification
Yeah.
first, so yeah, no, I need to talk to Patrick Lawson about what the plan is, but no, we're going to be streaming every single week. And that's the thing too. We have girls in this league who are nationally ranked. They're going to play very high
Savages.
level. Yeah, they're going to do awesome things. So you need to see it. Before we get to the last interview, so we're going to end this episode a little different than normal. We're going to end it, and then we're going to talk to the head coach of Iowa State Rugby, Ant Frine, because if you're a Cyclone fan, right? Three Beards Media, Chris Shipley, big Iowa State fan. Three Beards Media also has a podcast called The Sigh of the Storm, Iowa State podcast. Did you know Iowa State has a kick-ass rugby program that competes for national titles? We're going to talk to their head coach. You can learn more about him. When that interview's over, episode's over. So that way I don't hold you hostage, so you don't fucking cry about it, Phil, you little bitch.
I've been it. This will be a quick one. It's been over 2 hours.
No, it's been an hour 45.
Oh, but wait, babe, you just couldn't figure out the computer stuff. It's not my fault.
I had to hang out with my friends and drink beer and talk about rugby. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so hard.
Whatever. I'm a father of one. I gotta go home.
Oh, I have 3 children upstairs.
Yeah, that's your own fault.
I mean, it is.
My son just thinks that it's super cool that I'm gonna be on the B Side Boys podcast. He's like, I'm gonna go home. He's like, so what'd you talk about? And I'm like,
you, Malcolm.
I did. I wouldn't be lying.
Well, hey, should we do some new merch?
Yes.
I
love merch.
Oh, you're talking about B Side Boys merch.
B Side Boys, yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
What like I want to do like a simple kind of look. Like I've been working on some like simple designs. Okay. Would you be down for that?
You gotta add the Three Beards in the new ones.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they're a part of it.
I know, but like you gotta merge the two. Maybe B Side Boys over his head. You know what I mean?
I'll stick to the social media stuff. You don't have to. I'll do that.
My bad. I'll just keep on playing rugby and just shutting up.
I'm kidding. But again, before we get to Ant, do you have anything else, Juju? You want to like shout out anything else you want to throw out there?
Shout out to everybody who's playing rugby, involved in rugby in any
Phil,
kind
get
of
off
way.
your phone.
Yeah.
It just looked like you were looking down. What were you looking at down there?
Looking at my leg.
Big old thighs.
Oh, is that just like a staph infection?
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah.
Wait, don't touch me. We just rub legs.
I thought I was looking at your face. I'm like, he's on his phone and your phone's right there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, keep digging in your leg at whatever the fuck that is.
If you're playing rugby, keep playing. If you're refereeing, keep refereeing. If you're coaching, keep coaching. Find a successor if you want to stop. If you want to stop playing rugby, find a successor to take over your position. Keep the game going.
And if you're new to rugby, hang out with us.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Wombats are a pretty good time. Wombats, yes, throw it up, yeah.
Woo tang, woo tang, woo.
But yeah, thank you guys for having me. Had a lot of fun. Talking rugby is one of my favorite subjects. You know.
Yeah. No, glad to have you, man. And again, I'm excited for Saturday. Big match for the Wombats. And
I'm excited to see what all the training that we've done comes to, you know, and then just to be able to play that game and then dissect and then play another game, dissect, like it's just growth in rugby. It's the best thing in the world.
It is funny, like how many podcasts where like people are like, hey, Hawkeye football, you should do this, or oh, hey, Chicago Cubs baseball, you should do this. We talk rugby and then we're like, all right,
we're gonna go do it.
we're gonna go do it, and like maybe not very well at some parts. Like we talk shit, but we at least go out there and get hit in the mouth, and we pop back in. And no, it's always fun. And again, I do want to say October 10th at Single Speed, we are going to do a live episode of the podcast so you can see what a rugby social looks like, or better yet, just come in person.
Yeah.
How involved do I have to be in this?
Yeah. Early sorries and earlier welcomes.
We'll have the camera set up. Phil, you can go get drunk in the corner.
Perfect.
And do whatever weird shit you do.
Yes.
I'll take his spot.
Yeah. No, essentially, the main idea is we just kind of show like, hey, we're at the social. We show what's up. We talk about the game. We interview multiple players, maybe fans. We talk to our sponsors. We're going to do a charity event there as well. And then we'll show the man of the match thing. If there's a boat race, whatever, we'll show some of the rugby stuff.
You know what we got to do?
Yeah.
We got to make sure our boy Nico Felice is there and sing us one of those beautiful rugby songs that he sings. A good one. Nico, don't listen to them. They want you there.
What rugby song can we sing without getting canceled?
Yogi Bear?
No.
Yeah, no, that's probably one of the worst. Not the worst one, but it's up there.
There's some things. The S&M.
We'll figure it out. Me and Nico will talk. We'll figure it out.
Some of them start okay.
You know, Nico could probably teach us a haka too. He did play overseas. I'll do it for the camera.
All right. Well, everybody, again, thank you for joining us. We're going to talk to head coach of Iowa State Rugby. And, how you feeling?
Good, you?
Oh, good, you?
Good, you?
Good, you?
Good, you?
Good, you?
All right. And now we are joined by longtime friend of the program, longtime friend in real life, head coach of the Iowa State Cyclones men's rugby club, Coach Anthony Frine. Coach Frine, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Gray. How you doing?
Good, you? All right, end the episode. No. Exhausted, a little sleepy. How about you?
I'm right there with you, man. It's almost like we've both had some pretty crazy stuff happen the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, for people who don't know, we both have newborns in our houses. So we're on fumes here. So if this part of the episode gets a little weird, gets a little loopy, that might be why. But the thing is, you're locked in right now. We have the fall season coming up. Iowa State Cyclones have a kick-ass rugby program competing for national titles, but also, B Side Bois, we just joined the Three Beards Media Network, and they have a Cyclone show called The Sigh of the Storm. A lot of Cyclone personalities. Chris Shipley, who owns and runs the Three Beards Media, he's a Cyclone guy. And I think it's one of those things where I want Cyclone fans who just love Ames, they love Iowa State, they need to know there's a great sports program in Ames, Iowa that they may not have heard of before. And so thank you for joining us. And that's the first thing. For people who are unfamiliar that Iowa State has a rugby program and they're competing at a national level, what do you have to say to them?
I mean, we've been around. This is our 59th year. Every year we call the team based on the number it is, and this is team 59. So,
so you guys are still pretty young.
Yeah. I don't know what's stopping you from coming out. Ticket prices are fairly cheap at the SWAC there. We got plenty of seating for you too.
Yeah. And so again, you are a Division 1AA program in the men's competition under USA Rugby's CRAA. You guys have been competing again, like I said, and I'm going to get the numbers wrong, so I'm not going to say it. You've competed for national titles in both the discipline of 15s rugby in the fall is that season, but then you compete for a national title in the spring. And then in the sevens at the end of spring, another national title. Can you give people a rundown? What is the recent success that you guys have had?
Yeah. So really everything started kind of turning around in 2023 was really the year it started turning around. We made the national championship game in 15s for the first time ever, and then turned around 2 weeks later and won the sevens national championship in San Jose for the first national title in club history there. Followed that up in 24 with a national runners up in 15s and a third place finish in sevens. Followed that up with a final four in 15s and a final four in sevens in 25, and then in 26, we finished runners up in 15s and runners up in 7s. Some people are saying we're the Buffalo Bills of college rugby, but you know what? They can have that opinion.
Well, you guys are right there. I mean, that's the thing. Every single year, you are getting the squad ready, putting them in a position to win. And that's the thing. I think, both 15s and 7s, you were like a meter away from winning a national title in both this past year?
Yeah,
I mean, you were knocking on the door.
Yeah, we were, we went 97 meters in the national championship game in 15s and stoppage time and came up 3 meters short there. And then, turned around a week later and our captain, Zach English, who we'll talk about in a little bit, I'm sure, has a hat trick in the national final against Oregon. Time expiring, hats off to Oregon. Cormac O'Flaherty, incredible player that they had, scores as time's expiring to win it for Oregon. Hats off to him. But, I think a lot of people focus on the results and what is really relatable with our program to Iowa State as a whole is the resiliency in the kids. You have the guys, they're playing that 15s final in Indianapolis on a Sunday afternoon. That Monday, we're driving back from Indianapolis to Central Iowa, get back that evening. Tuesday's a recovery day. Wednesday, Thursday, we're switching from 15s that we've been in for 9 months at that point to 7s that we really hadn't spent any time on. And for the guys to then, turn around, travel Friday and compete Saturday, Sunday again and get that close. I mean, I think that speaks to the Iowa State of the guys that we have in our locker room there.
100%. And yeah, such a tough thing to be playing at that level. And again, I want to give credit to, you were saying like, oh, people will say, oh, the Buffalo Bills, but to be in the arena year after year after year, you have to go through the gauntlet of the conference tournament. You have to go through the playoffs. You have to make it there every single year, where we see a lot of times in rugby, teams will have like a big influx of like, we're going to do it. They have a great year or two, and then they kind of drop off. They disappear for a while, and then they come back. Consistently in the CRAA, you guys are always knocking on the door. So can you give us a preview for this fall for Cyclone fans who may be new to rugby? How can they watch you guys? Who are you going to play? What is the season looking like for you guys this fall?
Yeah, so, I mean, first off, our home field is at the Southwest Athletic Complex in Ames, Iowa, 400 South Sheldon Avenue. For longtime Cyclone fans, it's right where Cap Tim Baseball Stadium used to be back when we had a varsity baseball team there. Right now, we're in two-a-days. We started with a team meeting last night. Guys got 2 good training sessions in today. We'll roll that through this week. And then not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we'll be hosting Iowa Central Community College, who, for people not familiar with college rugby, thinking, why is Iowa State playing a community college? Iowa Central actually is a varsity program, and this is just kind of an annual, we'll call it rivalry game, that the two sides, we'll throw what we've got at each other early, find out where our warts are, and then each go on our own ways within our respective competitions there. From there, we're going to actually take on Colorado State, who is a, annual contender in D1A, which is the highest level in college rugby. We're actually going to meet them in Kearney, Nebraska, take them on Labor Day weekend, which will be a really good test for the guys. And then from there, we'll jump into our conference schedule, which, University of Minnesota, University of Iowa, Wayne State University, in Principia College.
Thunder Chickens.
The Thunder Chickens there, one of, if not the toughest leagues in the country. All those teams have competed for a national title in the last 5 years, all very, very good programs there. Week in and week out, it's, our conference, there's a reason we do so well in the postseason. It's because we're tested week in and week out in the regular season.
Yeah, and so who are some of the guys that people should look out for? Because that's something too, I think that's really fun about rugby, is you see a lot of guys who maybe rugby wasn't their first sport. There's some names of local Iowa maybe football players or wrestlers like from Iowa high schools that have jumped over into rugby, but also a lot of talent of Iowa high school rugby players that have come over. And you've also had a really good hand in recruiting outside of the state of Iowa as well. Like, you have crafted this team very nicely. You have a top side, you have a second side, a B side, always looking for, who's up next man in, who are some names we should watch out for as leaders, and maybe dark horses that might surprise some people that you're looking forward to. I know as a coach, maybe, if you're a player, earmuffs, motivation, like, don't hype someone up too much, but just some names maybe people might recognize from maybe high school sports. Because again, I think rugby is just such a cool thing where you have guys who've never played the sport before and they do great. You have guys who played in high school, they do great. You have guys from out of state. It's a really cool mix of people you bring together to put at a national level.
Yeah, I mean, I think that conversation, starts and really stops with Zach English. Zach English will be our captain. He's a product of Ankeny Centennial, multi-sport athlete, football captain, wrestling captain, baseball, you name it. They're really exceptional athlete that also was introduced to rugby actually through his girlfriend, Murray Bredding, who was also a standout track athlete, multi-sport athlete at Ankeny Centennial. And he's one of the kids, which is kind of a theme on our roster, where, he had offers to play everywhere below Division I, basically in any sport he wanted to, and chose to attend Iowa State University because he knew that this program could give him that athletic outlet that some other schools could, but also the education and the college experience. Zach is a 3-time All-American for us already. Really, for people who aren't familiar with college rugby, I would say he's going to get mad at me for saying this because he's a very humble kid, but I would call him almost a Tim Tebow-like figure in the college game, where highly, highly respected, by teammates and opponents, and national, media and people with a say in the game. And truly, I feel confident he is the best player in the country this year. And we're really lucky to have him as a player, but also as a person. He represents everything that's right about Iowa State University and rugby. And it just makes him a really special and easy to root for kid there.
Well, and you said too, he might not be too pumped that you said this. So I'm going to clip this. This will be the social media clip to hype up this episode. So just make sure I get his Instagram so I can tag him.
Yeah. And just to really make sure his head doesn't get too big, I'll just drop the note that his girlfriend Murray was all state more times than him in high school in rugby. So, keep Ziggy a little humble there. But, moving off Zach, I think kind of the dark horse local name that people would recognize as well is John Brown. He's a product of Van Meter High School. He was a standout football player at Van Meter, went to Grandview University originally and played football there, and realized he wanted to study engineering. His older sister is actually dating one of the Johnson brothers, who have both played for me at Iowa State. They made a connection between me and John, hit it off pretty quickly, and, came to Iowa State with the intention to play rugby, having never played rugby before. But anyone that had watched him play football at Van Meter, his athleticism and things that translate to rugby jumped out on the tape almost immediately there. Had a really strong season last year for us, and there's a lot of meat left on that bone developmentally for John.
Well, and that's something, we have another interview in this episode as well. And it's one of those things where if you're athletic and you work hard and you're a good listener and you care, and if you can ball, like, you will find playing time. Like, if you can play, you will find a place on the field. And I think that's what's so cool about this sport is we have so many kids who like, hey, you're great at all these other sports. Rugby coach Joe wrote an article about best crossover athletes and all that. And it's like, yeah, you can play any sport. It translates to rugby. I mean, it's a big game of keep away on offense, the triple option, and then defense is just Red Rover, right? If you just have a great work ethic, you're going to be fine. And I think that's why you see Iowa State, Iowa, UNI, Iowa Central, every single one of these schools all these state schools, they do so well at a national level because of the kids that make up the programs, like that work ethic, that chip on their shoulder, just blue collar, ready to grind it out, and I think our high school programs are showing that. Any other kids from like the high school league or anything like that are you're looking for a big impact, or any incoming freshmen or just anybody? I don't know.
I mean, I think the big elephant in the room here is Brock Klumpers, who is a grad transfer to us. So Brock was a high school All-American. His dad was an age grade coach. For those not familiar with, international rugby, that meant he was coaching one of not the senior level, but like an age grade team. So, a U18, U16 level there. Brock, we thought maybe we were going to get him out of high school originally, ended up going to Central Washington, which is a varsity program, obviously in Washington there. They shut their varsity program down.
So stupid. That's a whole nother episode about how that got shut down.
Yeah.
But hey, it worked out for you.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously stayed in touch with Brock and his dad, Tim, over the years. And, saw the news, gave Brock a call. He was on a visit a couple weeks later. And we're really excited there. He's a guy that he brings a level of professionalism to him. He, was an All-American last year in the college game, but really has come in and wanted to be a Cyclone. And I think that's really important. And the added bonus is, we were able to add his dad to the coaching staff this year too, and really speaks volumes to the person Tim is. When we started talking about it, he was very clear he didn't want to step on any of the existing coaches' toes. He's got an incredible resume, but the person he is, he wanted to basically start as, a positional coach. And we're I think we've got one of the best set piece coaches in the country on our staff now.
Oh, and that's just a huge part of the game for people as we introduce set pieces to people. I mean, if you can get an edge there, oh my gosh, that's going to do wonders for you. And yeah, man, I just think it's one of those things, like, you keep bringing up the people. It's very intentional who you bring in, right? I mean, someone who's coached at an age grade level, maybe played at an All-American level at a D1 program, people could come in and act a certain way, but you're pulling in people who they're buying into the system. They believe in what you've been doing and they want to be a part of it. And it's really cool to see. And again, it's why you're having that success. And it reminds me a lot of things you've seen with Iowa State football, things you've seen with Iowa State wrestling, just this pride and this sense of, working hard and just being a good person off the field as well. And I wanted to touch on this earlier because you're competing for national titles, but you are a club program. So tell people, what does that look like? How do you bring in people from out of state? How do you get kids interested in coming to Ames, but yet you are a club program? What does that mean? What does that look like? You're not handing out scholarships. What does it mean? And how do you stay at a high level when you are just a club?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. This is my 10th season coaching at Iowa State. And from day one, the goal's been building a sustainable winner there. We've got a saying that, good people have good people as their friends, and shitty people have shitty people as their friends, but everyone has athletic and unathletic friends. So with that, we target the people first. And with that, you give kids a real experience there. I'm not feeding my family coaching here. So my thing is I'm going to be honest with every kid and give them the best experience possible. And it's funny how, word of mouth travels there. We talked about Tim Klumpers there. He was actually, when I took the job at Iowa State, was one of the first high school coaches that reached out to me. He really had no business doing it. They were, defending high school national champions, and Iowa State was a middling D1 program there. But through that, we brought in Sean Ropey, who was in my first recruiting class. And then Sean Ropey turns into Alex Geiser, who is a 4-time All-American at Iowa State. And then Alex Geiser turns into Brock Klumpers, but it's, taking care of the guys and preparing them for graduation. That's the focus. So the recruiting comes easy there because parents trust us with their kids, high school coaches. If I'm not getting paid, they're surely not getting paid. And they can trust that we're going to prepare these guys for life there. And that's, if you look at our roster, even the out-of-state guys, like Neuqua Valley is a school in Illinois. Griff Huffman, who was in my first recruiting class, and I was lucky enough to, be in his wedding 2 weeks ago there. He had such a good experience that every year we bring in 1 to 2 kids from Neuqua Valley. That's a suburban Chicago school that kids are coming to Iowa State to play rugby because of the experience other ones got. We got 2 freshmen this year from Neuqua Valley, Giuseppe Capario and Gio Soto, that, they're both having good camps right now. And it's just, you treat people right, you keep the main thing, and good stuff happens, man.
Yeah, it just seems like the beast keeps feeding itself. You kind of had this vision, you built it, and now because you're having these results, you're getting what you want, and it's finding those same people over and over. And so again, with it being club, how about funding? That's probably something that's never fun to talk about, but how do you guys pay to go out to Kuntz Field in Indiana? That's where the National 15s was. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
And then you've gone out to the West Coast. I mean, you've played in Texas. You've played all over the country, right? But it's a club. How do you guys pay for these things? And let's say there's Cyclone people that want to support this. How can they follow Iowa State Rugby, and how can they support you guys to help you stay at this national level?
Yeah, no, great question. We're really thankful for the setup that we have. We feel the SWAC, our field, is one of the nicest in college rugby there. The university takes care of that for us. The university gives us some money, just like any student organization. But the difference is where we
wait, time out. When I was at UNI, they didn't give us any money. Okay, go on.
Yeah,
maybe it's some. Zeus probably, they didn't like me. Okay, go.
some money, they give us some. The players, they pay dues. We've got a fundraising schedule that's set up there, but also let's be real, we're operating on a smaller scale than football or basketball or something like that, but a scale similar to, a Grandview, actually bigger than a Grandview football, because we are, traveling coast to coast every year. So to fill those gaps, we've got, I talked about this as Team 59, teams 1 through 58 are very generous in supporting us through the Cyclone Rugby Foundation, which is our nonprofit there. We've also partnered with the Iowa State Foundation, which is, another tax deductible method. How this one's housed with the university that people can donate to. And what resonates a lot with people is, you can give your dollars when it comes to, college sports to a lot of places. You go online, every program is asking you to donate to, the cleverly named NIL fund and stuff. The return on the dollar with our club, I like to feel, is very, very high there, because you're not buying a future millionaire. What you're doing is you're supporting a future teacher, a future police officer, a future engineer, a future doctor. We can run through the list. And with that, we have 100% graduation rate too. So these guys are here. They're not here to play school. They're here to go to school and play rugby. And those dollars, they're greatly appreciated, and that helps these guys represent Iowa State to the best of their ability. And I would be shocked, no slight at anyone else that represents Iowa State, but to find a group that represents Iowa State on a more genuine level than these guys do.
Well, and with the NIL world right now, I mean, not to kick a dog while it's down, right? Like when Matt Campbell left Iowa State football, and how many guys left to go to Penn State with him, or just guys left in general. Like, I mean, you're not seeing transfers. People are here because they want to be here. They're at Iowa State because they want to be at Iowa State. They have pride wearing that logo. It's not just, hey, where's the best deal? Because again, in rugby, it's not like you're getting cut a check anywhere, but you're not like, okay, I got to just keep on moving, right? I mean, people are here because they want to be here. Like you said, they wear the crest, they're proud of it. And then once they leave, they're still proud of it, and they're giving back, and they're promoting the club and doing certain things for the club. So, no, love to see that. And that's something that's just, I don't know. That's what I love about all of our schools in the state, where when people play for those clubs, they're super proud of it, and there's an identity there. And so for people outside of the rugby world, get into it. It's a great community, great people. And I mean, there's just, you guys have a lot in common. And what I did want to say, though, people outside the rugby world, and this is going to be, if you don't want me to use the earlier part for the social clip, I won't. This is for the social clip. Thinking of other athletes, because again, people always say USA is the sleeping giant of rugby because we have the greatest athletes in the world. You look at Team USA for basketball. You look at the NFL. You look at baseball, World Baseball Classic, even though, I mean, we should probably won that, whatever, who cares? But Valencia is really good. I can't be mad about that. But if we had some of those top tier athletes who go, you know what, I'll give rugby a try. Other countries, New Zealand, South Africa, they're afraid of the United States if one day our top tier athletes turn to rugby. So when you look at the history of Iowa State, because you went to Iowa State, you played for Iowa State, you're a huge Iowa State football and basketball fan, you know about wrestling. Who are some athletes on the current roster or even in historical rosters that would make some of the best rugby players?
Well, that's a little bit of a loaded question, so I'm going to buy myself a little bit of time while I think in the back of my head here.
Come on, I texted this to you like a week ago.
Well, I got to give a shout out to my boy Tyler Morrow. Cyclone fans will recognize that name. Played tackle on the football team, and when Campbell left, you know, he wanted to finish his degree at Iowa State, and so he actually came out for rugby his last semester last spring, and you know, was a hell of a lock for us, just an A+ person. So the politically correct answer is going to be Tyler Morrow, but in all seriousness, I mean,
wait. Did he graduate?
Yeah. He got his
Where's
master's
he at now?
degree. He is in Dubuque, but I don't think he's gonna, or he's in Davenport. I think he's gonna be playing for another team that starts with a D potentially.
Is he gonna play for the Riverboat Gamblers?
Nope. I think Des Moines going to end up getting him to come play for him. I mean, he's a guy that if he had picked up rugby a year earlier, I think I still think he has a very good shot at representing the United States in a World Cup at some point. Just character off the chart, 6'7", 270, can walk and chew gum at a time. Like, he's a special athlete, but he's an incredible person too. And I really enjoyed that semester. I got to coach him. It's rare you get a guy that, you know, played Division I football that comes in and is willing to work his way up from the bottom and still, you know, one of the guys I like keeping in touch with him. He's just a good guy to have around.
Well, I mean, if he ever wants to just hang out with the Wombats, we've known each other forever. I'm still waiting for a pipeline from Iowa State to the Wombats, but we'll get to that later. But I'm glad he's not playing for Dubuque because that's our match this upcoming Saturday. I don't feel like tackling a guy who's 6'7", 270. Forget that. That's why I play D3 rugby. I'm trying to tackle a monster. Like, grow up, man. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, but going for kind of a more notable Iowa State athlete. I mean, I think let's take politics aside here. A guy like
a
guy like Royce White. You know, when you're 6'8" and can move the ball, I think that's a guy. You know, Joel Lanning is another guy that could play both sides of the ball. I think he's another guy
Thanks really for switching. So I didn't make a comment like, yeah, Royce White would be great on the women's rugby side. What in politics aside? Oh my God!
You know what? And we can also throw a third one. Nice guy from Royce White's era at Iowa State, Melvin Edgem. Was lucky enough to have classes with him. I think he might be the smartest human I've ever met, and was also the Big 12 Player of the Year in basketball. But one thing all those guys have in common is just the raw size, the height, the physicality, but also the vision. I think a lot of people that have never seen rugby think it's a lot of smash.
Right. You think football, right? Like ball looks same, run, smash, and it's like the 3-man weave in basketball, man. Like it's moving without the ball. Basketball players, and Joe Lippert said it, basketball players make the best rugby players because they read, they react, they go to space, they follow their pass. That's where it's at. You know what I mean?
Well, and that was my path to finding rugby. There is, I realized I wasn't going to play basketball much longer, and transitioned to rugby and found a lot of those skills like Joe talked about in his article, the vision, the understanding of spacing and things like that translated really well. And here I am a lot of years later still involved in the game.
Dude, it's an amazing game, and I'm still flabbergasted you brought up Royce White in these trying times.
Hey,
that's the clip. That's the social media clip right there. Gee whiz. What? Okay. But Joel Lanning, though, and you said Tim Tebow earlier, right? A smash mouth guy who could play quarterback and linebacker, both sides of the ball. I think he's the guy, too, where I would have loved to have gotten my hands on him to play some rugby.
I tried to. Fun story
Really?
About that is, so when Paul Rhodes left Iowa State, Joel's now wife was friends with the girl I was dating at the time. And, we were at a Friendsgiving, and I tried to convince him. No luck there. He ended up having a little bit of success under Matt Campbell, I think most people would say, and things turned out okay. But there was a time where I was trying to get him to play some rugby.
Oh, yeah. Well, and another one, too, Jeff Woody. He was a guy who actually, I went to his CrossFit gym for a little bit. He actually went to a few Des Moines practices, and I think he played with Southeast Polk's alumni team in the Toys for Tots tournament one time.
He played for Iowa State, too. Yeah. He wore an Iowa State jersey. Let's just say that at a Toys for Tots tournament.
What was the acronym?
Ankeny Summer Sevens hang out like every Saturday.
Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, I played on that team. I did not play with him, but he was also a guy. And when I went to his gym, I was just like, "Dude, you got to play." He's like, "Yeah, man." I always love it too when you play men's rugby, and guys will be like, "Yeah, man, I just don't know if I have it. I don't know if I'm in shape." And it's like, if you came to practice right now, you would be the most fit, most athletic, strongest person with the most explosiveness, and yeah, I just don't know if I can do it. And it's like, look at me. You'd be fine. You would be more than fine. You would excel. And they're like, yeah, nah.
It's not for everyone. And, I think you're selling yourself a little bit short there because, we have had other athletes from Iowa State that have tried to cross over when their, varsity aspirations kind of died out. And rugby does require a different level of fitness and some, mental skills there too, where it's not for everyone, and that's fine.
Right,
that's what makes it worth doing, is that it's challenging. And
Right. No, for sure. And no, I'd love to see more people from the Iowa State fandom get to know the Iowa State rugby program, follow you guys. Because again, Iowa State has such a passionate group of fans for basketball, for football. If you want to get behind a winning program, follow the rugby team. And, that's not to slight anybody else, but it's a lot of fun. It's in the fall. So when you guys have home matches, when the football team is out of town, because you guys play on Saturdays in the fall, go to the SWAC, pack the SWAC, check it out. It'll be a blast. It costs nothing to go watch you guys. You guys are going to have an awesome fall season. So, No, I appreciate for coming on, man. Any last words you want to like give out to the people? Any last shout outs? If we can maybe fit one more social media clip in here that I can just.
Well, I mean, I think I burned my hot take with the Royce White take there.
Brother, you fried my brain. It completely derailed me.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If someone's on the fence about coming out and supporting the team, I can tell you that you won't be disappointed if you come out. It's a very family-friendly environment. I said this is my 10th year here, and now we're at the point where, there are kids that are playing for us that are freshmen now that when they were younger, were on the sidelines cheering on Iowa State and grew up wanting to be Cyclone rugby players. I think that's really cool. And, I can tell you the amount of game balls and balls that disappear to random kids after every game blows whatever university budget we get away. The guys are great. They're appreciative of it, and they're real genuine with it. So if someone's on the fence about, coming out, they don't know if it's, this isn't 1985. There's not going to be a keg on the sideline and people doing keg stands there. We're there to represent Iowa State. We're there to compete and show, what Iowa State University is like. And that's what makes rugby special is, it's not for the money. It's not for the fame. It's really to represent the values of this great university with people that want to represent those values.
100%. Well, hey, Ant, good luck this fall, man. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to follow along. If you want to support Ant Frine and his Iowa State Cyclones, follow them on all social media. Check out their matches in person at the SWAC. And go win a national title, man.
Thanks, man. That's the goal. Let's get 2 this year, actually, though.
Hey, yo, let's do it. All right, we'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Thanks, man.
Love you. All right. And that was the end of that interview. Thanks, everybody, for listening. This was episode 180 of the B Side Boys Rugby Podcast. We'll see you in 2 weeks. A lot of rugby to be watching, a lot of rugby to be had. Get out, support rugby, play, watch, do all the stuff. All right. Love you. Bye. See you later. You guys are great. We love you so much. And we'll see you later. And goodbye.